Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ariel Helwani Show!
Back in your life on this Tuesday, April 29, 2025. Hello again, everyone. I sure hope you're doing well. It is great to be here on another lovely Tuesday afternoon in New York City. We play 2 on Tuesdays, 5 o'clock. We've got the Ariel Helwani program on DAZN. It's a big week here in New York City with that Ring Magazine card on Friday night in Times Square. We'll be talking about that on this here program. And I'm sort of dying inside right now. I'm struggling because an all-timer just happened to me seconds ago. So on today's program, we're going to be joined in studio by the great Eddie Hearn of Matchroom. He'll be joining us for another chat. I always look forward to these. I think you all do as well. And you also probably know that there are these factoids in the bathrooms here at Uncrowned HQ. I've referenced them in the past. I try to drop the nuggets here or there. They usually know where they're coming from. They call me out on it. Well, in any event, go to the bathroom very quickly before the show, and the thing's right in front of you. It's all very strategically placed. And I happen to see that I do believe it was 78 years ago this week that the Mr. Potato Head was the first toy to ever be advertised on television. And I thought, okay, that's a fun factoid. Also, they sold the parts, but not the body. It was it was just like the hands, the eyes, but the body, you actually had to use a real potato back in the day. That was part of the charm. So I thought, okay, this would be good. I don't want to forget it. And against better judgment, with my left hand, I take a picture.
No, why?
But here's the thing. I take a picture. I'm very anal about all of this. Like, I'm very anal. Like, you got to wash your hands. I don't touch anything. But I'm like, okay. The whole thing felt off. And so there I am standing, and I take a picture like this.
This is at the urinal.
At the urinal.
Oh, my gosh.
And I know from the beginning, the whole thing felt off.
Pants
Why am I doing
down.
this? Why am I? No.
Down to
That's
the
right.
ankles.
No.
Pulling your camera out in the bathroom. Also, they're pisser facts. We have trademarked that name. It is pisser facts.
Pants are not down. But I felt off about all of it. Also, I could remember all of this. I don't need to take a picture. I don't know why I take the picture, but I wanted to remember. I wanted to pull it out just in case you guys push back on any of the factoids.
We go to the same bathroom as you.
As I'm taking the picture, corner of the right eye, I see someone emerge and stop and be like, mate, bathroom selfie? And it's Eddie Hearn looking at me. I'm like, no.
Actually outside.
I'm like, no, it's not what it looks like. He's like, mate, come on. I mean, I've seen a lot of selfies. I've never seen a bathroom. I'm not taking this out. I'm like, look at the thing. And now it's a whole commotion. His guys are there. I'm like, look at the sign. It's the Potato Head. 78 years. He's
pisser facts, Eddie. Pisser facts.
It was awful. Of all the people to walk in,
fifth grader,
in that moment, Eddie freaking Hearn stops and looks at me, and he thinks I'm literally taking a selfie of myself. Like, it looks like it.
You sound like a man making excuses for being
It's
caught.
I wanted to melt inside. I felt like a melt. I felt like a sausage.
It's like an episode of Curb.
Yes.
Again.
Pink. Is it a pick? Is it a scratch? Is it this? Seinfeld as well. I feel I'm rattled at this point. This happened 6 minutes ago. I'm shaken to my core. So anyway, I will never do that again. And I'm sorry, but this was just because I wanted some content for the program. 78 years ago this week, Mr. Potato Head. Did you know that you had to actually put the things in your own
you know that
potato?
Less than
when
$1.
You're here,
Less than $1.
Yeah, I think it was 98 cents or something.
Oh, yeah.
To repeat that phone call you gave me the other day, when you're here, you're representing all of us.
Yes,
okay? So
that's
please
right.
be on your best behavior.
Oh, my God. I am so embarrassed. In any event, we will work through that. And never again. Later in the program, back into the show, we're going to be joined by Jeff Molina, and I do believe his first interview since all that drama surrounding the betting accusations, the subsequent suspension, 36 months. He found out that he's able to return in, I do believe, November Derek Minner as well. He could come back in June. So there's a lot there. It's the whole James Krause thing, the Minner fight back in November of 2022. Molina hasn't talked about it since, and he'll be joining us back into the show to talk about what happened. Prior to that, we'll be joined by Eddie Hearn in studio, obviously to talk about this past weekend at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Connor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr., where do they go from here? I still can't stop thinking of the fight, and I still can't stop reliving moments. That 12th round, the 11th round was incredible. The walkout, the reveal, all the post-fight stuff. Junior and Senior haven't said much in the aftermath, a couple tweets and things of that nature. I still can't get over it. Like even those clips from back in the day, from the documentary. I was talking about it yesterday, calling it poetic and emotional. Really, the best word, I think, to describe it all is Shakespearean. I mean, the whole thing felt like Shakespeare. Father doesn't want him to fight, guides him in the early days. They have success. They go their separate ways. It's an ugly, bitter breakup. Words are exchanged. Unfortunately, there's tragedy involved with Junior's brother, Senior's son, Sebastian, a broken family, fighting for his father's legacy, fighting for his name. Father reemerges. I mean, it's just, if you wanted to, if you tried to script it, you couldn't even do that good of a job, and how it all played out. Obviously, for the Matchroom team, they wanted their guy to win, but other than that, I'm sure they are still very delighted, very happy. And we're getting another stadium show, July 19th at Wembley. It's unbelievable what's happened to boxing in the UK. And it's not an overnight thing. It's been going on for quite some time, but just the difference between the way the sport is viewed and celebrated there as opposed to here is really amazing. And of course, that July 19th fight is Alexander Usyk against Daniel Dubois 2. Justice for the Big Oos, Joseph Parker. I still say he should be in there, but alas, I digress. And prior to that, hopefully in a matter of moments, we're going to be joined by Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia going up against Rolly Romero in the main event of the 3-fight card that's going down. I think there might be some prelims that are geared towards New York. It's happening in the middle of Times Square. Still a lot of details, still a lot of sights, sounds, pictures up in the air, yet to be disclosed, yet to be revealed. But it's an amazing thing, and it's an amazing 3-pack, pardon the pun, of fights. Garcia, Romero, they have a great backstory and chemistry. Let me fix this. It's bothering me. And then Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez. We presume if Haney and Garcia win, they'll be fighting each other later on this year. And also Arnold Barbosa Jr. against Teofimo Lopez. Barbosa coming off that big win over Jack Catterall in February. Teofimo is always box office. I mean, there's a chance if Ryan Garcia, if he slips and falls, and Haney slips and falls, or if one of them wins and the other loses, that they'll still fight in October. They have such a history and such a backstory that you almost don't even need it, although you would love to have it. You would love to have them coming off wins at this point. Just checking. So let us see. And I'm looking forward to talking to him, hopefully in a matter of moments. I did see on the timeline this morning that Tom Aspinall has officially surpassed Renan Barão for the longest reigning interim champion in UFC history, 535 days. Renan Barão, 534. Aspinall, of course, defending his title in July. I think I saw a clip of Dean Thomas talking to, I think it was Mike Bond, saying that he predicts that he'll return International Fight Week. I mean, that would be a rabbit out of their hats, because I haven't seen anyone suggest that. I haven't heard any sort of talk around that. This situation is getting a little bit wacky at this point, and I think it ends. I think we will get some sort of resolution, hopefully by the end of the summer. So that's not tomorrow, but it's a It's a dubious achievement, and I'm sure it's one that he is, not really focused on. He's not counting the days per se, but I know his dad is frustrated. I know he is frustrated. The guy just wants to fight. And there's one thing that I disagree with as far as what George was saying. George was brilliant on the show yesterday, George St. Pierre, in many aspects. The thing is, I don't necessarily think that Tom Aspinall is obsessed with the idea of beating John Jones. I don't think he's obsessed with the idea of being the one to beat John Jones. I think he would like for that to happen. I think he would pick that scenario first if a bunch are presented to him. But ultimately, I think the guy just wants to fight. I think he just wants to create his own legacy. I think he just wants to move on with his career. Think about how many people have fought multiple times since Tom fought in July, in that fight that took a minute. Think about that. Bilal Muhammad was booked in won on that night. He was booked in December, and then he didn't fight, but obviously was booked and now fighting again in May. Alex Pereira fought in October. He then came back in March, and he's probably going to fight before him again and fighting in August. That's 3 times. We could go down the line. Dricus fought in August. He fought in February. He's probably going to fight, I don't know, in October. He might beat him to the punch if they want to try to save this for New York. 3 times. 3 times since this guy fought. This guy fought for 60 seconds in Manchester. 3 times. I'll keep going. Islam. Well, he fought in June. He's not as active. Fought in January. Okay, once. Does he fight again in June? It might be twice. Merab fought in September. Fought in January. Fighting in June. 3 times for him too. Pantoja fought in December. Maybe in June. At least twice. I mean, that's crazy. So if you're if you're Tom and you're seeing all of this, you're seeing these guys get their fights and you're not getting your fights, you've got to be frustrated. At this point, it's not about being the first one to fight John Jones or being the first one to beat John Jones or being the first one to dethrone him or anything. I think that's all gravy at this point for Tom Aspinall. I think he just wants to fight. If it's John, amazing. Even better. But I think if they told him, hey, we're taking the belt off of John and you're going to be the champ and you're going to fight Ciryl Gane, he'd say, sign me up. Tomorrow. I'll fight him tomorrow. So it's kind of a shitty situation. And like I said last week, and I remain in this camp, I don't necessarily think the UFC is to blame. Now, if you want to say that the UFC is to blame for not telling John, hey, shit or get off the pot, we're taking your belt away, then that's fair. But in terms of their intentions, in terms of them trying to do everything in their power to make this fight, I do believe that they have done that. And as recently as this weekend, Dana White himself has said, I think it's happening.
Well, then we got the ESPN MMA tweet this weekend as well about John Jones becoming the 2nd longest heavyweight title reign. Yeah, I know. He's only got 100 days left till he has the longest ever.
That's crazy.
Does he just hold out till then and then vacate the belt?
That is crazy. No, I hope not.
I really...
What is 100 days from now? So 30 days in a month approximately. So that's a little over 3 months, right?
He is now at 787. Kane was 896.
Wow.
So
if they fight in November...
Yeah, he'll have the longest ever.
Wow. And that's one title defense, right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Against Stipe Miocic.
Right. Who had not fought in 3 years. All right. Without further ado, we were just talking about it this weekend. Massive show this Friday, Times Square. Let's not waste any time. Let's say hello to the aforementioned Ryan Garcia, who was kind enough to join us on this very big week. There he is, my guy, Ryan. How are you, sir?
What's up, Ariel?
It's good to talk to you. It's good to see you. Can I say something, Ryan? I've consumed, we strip away all the BS, break the fourth wall. I've consumed all the content. I've watched everything. And when I look at your face, when I look at your eyes, when I look at your hair, when I listen to the way you speak, and I compare you to the guy who was in my studio March of last year before the Haney fight, you are a completely different human being. It's night and day. Am I accurate?
Yeah, I mean, I would say you're accurate. Just not drinking, I guess that's what could do to you. I don't know. I'm just have a whole different mindset this time around, and kind of just prepared myself as you would as a professional boxer. So that's what it is.
When's the last
No
time you had a
more.
drink?
A while back, like way before training camp. So, yeah.
Do you like this version of you better?
I mean, for myself as a professional boxer, for sure, this is how you have to do it. You got to be professional. You got to be on point with everything if you want to be the best fighter in the world. So, it worked for me once, but can't keep doing that. You can't sustain that.
When you look back at some of that stuff from around this time last year, how does that make you feel?
Uh, just part of my story, bro. It's like one of those moments where I was just kind of dealing with whatever I was dealing with. But honestly, I don't really regret anything. I don't regret nothing in my life. I just take everything as like, okay, I learned from that moment. Like, that's not the way to go. It's not a way I want to represent myself. But I don't really like to say regret.
Okay. Well, that is certainly fair. I'll be honest, in the aftermath, like I was a little concerned for you in that you were saying a lot about a lot of different people. I thought like someone was going to like maybe try to like jump you or attack you or something like that. Like you were upsetting a lot of people. Did it ever get to the point where you were feeling unsafe? Like that your safety was compromised?
Nah, not really. This day and age, everybody's saying a lot of crazy shit. You see all the streamers saying whatever they want. Like it's just kind of the day and age we're in, but it's not a way that I want to go about how I handle myself. But that's just kind of the generation we live in. Everybody's saying stupid shit, and for a long time, people said a lot of stupid shit about me, and then I started saying, I played the game they were playing, and I guess I played it too hard. But at the end of the day, I just don't want to go down that route though. I just kind of want to keep myself more professional and try to be the best fighter I could be and not get caught up in that trolling game like so many people do.
I know you said you don't regret anything, but as far as like maybe some of those things that you said, do you regret any of that?
Do I regret any of that? Of course. I mean, there's a lot of stupid shit you say with everybody around you, you and your boys. If everybody was, with you guys recording, every conversation, you're going to say some stupid shit. So yeah, in that regard, yeah, I do regret it because a lot of people look up to me and they may take what I say, out of context or think I'm that type of person and I'm not. So in that regard, I do regret that part.
This card is such a big deal. It's so unique. We still don't even know what it's going to look like. Like, do you have any idea how they're actually going to pull this off? Times Square is one of the most busy, like the busiest intersections in the world. Do you know how they're going to actually do this?
I think I mean, I have a baseline, like, kind of idea of how they're going to do it. But again, I'm kind of, I'm kind of in the backseat as well. I'm just, I'm just getting ready to fight. They said they got everything locked up, so I guess we just gotta wait and see. That's it.
Like, just curious, like when you're preparing for a fight, you're in a locker room, right? And then you do the ring walk and all that. Where's the locker room in Times Square? Like, do you know where you'll actually be getting your hands wrapped, warming up, things like that?
I think we're gonna be in like a place, a couple blocks away, and then we're gonna get to the fight via taxi cab. It's gonna be crazy.
That is unbelievable. I was a little surprised. I thought maybe you'd never want to come back to New York because you were disappointed in the aftermath. Did you consider that as well? Like, man, I don't want to deal with these people, this commission again.
I mean, yeah, but when you have an opportunity to, create history and fight, first time ever in Times Square, it's hard to look past that. Yeah, I was kind of mad how they handled my case, but at the end of the day, no hard feelings. It is what it is, and just keep moving forward.
I also get a little bit worried when you have an incredible rematch. You have two fighters, and sometimes the timing doesn't work. One guy fought in February, the other one's fighting in June. The stars don't align, and you know how it goes in boxing. Best laid plans, someone slips, someone gets knocked down, someone gets hurt, and then you don't get the big fight. Here you guys are fighting on the same card, and I was thinking, like, why didn't they just have them fight each other? Why are we tempting fate? Like, everyone wants that rematch. Why do they need to get by other dudes to fight each other again? What's your explanation?
I mean, we've been out of the ring for over a year. I think both of us kind of wanted to get a touch up before we get in there with each other. I don't mind it. I mean, last time I thought that way, it kind of backfired on me with Tank Davis. I let like a year go by before I fought again, and I didn't feel as sharp. So this time I kind of had that mindset where I've been off a year. Let me get in the ring and fight. I'm confident in my skills and my ability that I should be able to win. But like you said, in boxing, anything can happen. So I got to be as sharp as I can, and he does too. So I mean, there is some risk, but I mean, this is why we're professionals. I mean, if we call each other the best, you got to be able to beat everybody that gets in your way. So I got to be able to handle Rollies, and he needs to be able to handle Jose Ramirez, and that's just the truth of it.
Initially, I thought, all right, they both have to win in order to fight each other. But is there a case to be made that if something happens, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, he loses, he gets upset. Is the fight still big enough between the two of you where it doesn't really matter? You'll still fight in October?
I mean, it just kind of depends on how the fans feel, honestly. I mean, they gotta. That's their. I feel like that's their call. If people still want to see it, if he loses, let's do it.
Okay.
I don't care. Fight him again.
There's no part of you that would feel like his stock has now been diminished and he's not as interesting of an opponent for you.
Like I said, it's really up to the fans. It's not up to me. At the end of the day, the fans are going to want what they want. If he loses, then they might not want it. And that's just the truth. Or, yeah.
Do you think he wins?
Yeah, I feel like he should win. I mean, he seems like he's in shape. He seems like he's focused. I think Jose Ramirez is just, maybe a step behind him as far as, skills and speed and all that. So I think Devin could get him, but it just depends. Is Devin coming back the same fighter, or is he coming back, a little weaker?
And have you had any sort of interactions with him? Have you seen him this week or a couple months ago when you guys were here, like away from the cameras? Any sort of chatter with him?
I had a little something with Bill yesterday, but other than that, nothing with Devin. Devin doesn't really talk. It's really his dad. I don't think Devin has ever really said anything to me. It's always started off with his dad, so it's never him.
Can I ask what happened?
Oh, he just said I look smaller and blah blah blah, and I was like, I'm gonna do him worse. Next time we start shouting at each other, but he's trying to say like, oh, now you're not on PEDs, whatever, blah blah blah. But that's what he was trying to say.
At this point, it sounds like the dad annoys you more than Devin himself.
I think that's just what it is. I think that's for everybody. I think Bill gets everybody going, but it's good for boxing. Bill gets us going, and I guess Devin takes the repercussions for his daddy's words.
Right. How do you feel about Rolly as a character? I saw your face to face. I know you guys have a history with the sparring. It's been played 1,000 times. I almost get the sense that you're like sort of amused by him. That like you like there's some sort of like comedic nature to your feelings for. I mean, even here yesterday, like with the dancing and all that. How do you feel about him as a person? Not so much as a fighter, but just as a character.
Right. As a person, he's hilarious without trying to be funny. And, he's just a guy that I don't know. I kind of would like being around him. He's just funny dude, and I don't know if he's trying to be funny half of the time, but he cracks me up. So I would be friends with him outside the ring, I think, but inside the ring, I'm ready to destroy this guy. But yeah, I think he's cool and I think he's funny.
Were you ever friendly?
Was I ever friendly with him?
Yeah.
We never hung out outside of just, well, actually, I never hung out with him ever, but I wouldn't mind. Why not?
Sure. It felt like, with the sparring footage and all that stuff, this is a fight that he's been asking for a long time. Has this been in the back of your mind, or only now, once it was presented as this sort of like tune-up fight for the big rematch, that it came on your radar?
Honestly, it never really crossed my radar too much, except initially when it first happened. I was like, man, I'll fight you in a real fight. But as our careers progressed, I just kind of blew him out of the water. He wasn't even near my stratosphere as far as performances and whatnot. I mean, he's only had 16 fights, so he doesn't really fight that much, to be honest. So there's not a lot to go off of him. It's just for me, this was the best option because Pitbull didn't agree to the fight, which we were trying to get down. And then, you know, Rolly's is kind of he's a name in boxing. So for me, this was the best option.
Can I ask, the last time we spoke was in December, right before that press conference. You were supposed to be on the Ryzen card, and you remember you were going to fight on this card on New Year's Eve. And then like an hour after the interview, Oscar tweeted hey, you're not going to be a part of it. We didn't sign up for this. And then shortly thereafter, you were removed. Was it because of Oscar or was it because of an injury?
No, I had a legitimate injury. And, after that moment, Oscar, I had already said that, and we didn't really care what Oscar said, to be honest. That was so separate from the whole situation.
Okay.
When I got to, camp with Derek and everybody, when I was training and sparring, that's when my hand was really messed up. So that's what happened there.
Okay. Do you think you'll ever fight for them? Is that something you want to do, to fight in Japan?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would love to fight in Japan. That's always been a dream, to fight internationally. And if that opportunity presents itself again, we're gonna do it. And I think we're, obligated to do it. So I don't care. Let's run it.
How are things with Oscar these days and Bernard?
Oh, good. Everything's good. It's nowhere near how it was, for that Duarte fight.
Right.
Everything's kind of past us, and we're just, moving forward as a team, and we're getting things done.
Do you think you'll ever be at a point where you're big enough to where you don't need a promoter, where you can just be your own promoter, like a Floyd was?
For sure, I got that potential. I got 2 more fights with Golden Boy, I believe, and after that, I mean, I don't see why not start my own promotion company and start, running my own business. I feel like that's the natural progression in any superstar boxer's career. I mean, Oscar did it, Lloyd did it, everybody. Canelo's pretty much doing it. He's not really signed to anybody,
right?
And that's the natural progression. That's just what it is. And if the promoters get mad, I mean, they're really being hypocrites in a way.
So that's the goal, right?
Yeah, for sure, that's the goal.
Your head trainer for this fight, is it Derek James?
Yes.
How come you went back to him?
Well, one, the dynamic in Eddie Reynoso's camp, it just wasn't gonna work out. One, Jaime McGee is fighting day after me and Oscar and Canelo as well, so our schedules didn't meet, and that was a huge part of it. And obviously Derek and myself, we have a great relationship, and it was just a very easy transition to get back to working with Derek. A big problem was all the things that I was working with, which was my therapy and all the things that I was doing to better myself, was all in San Diego. And Derek, a lot of times he doesn't want to move out of Texas, so that was like the initial issue. But we worked some stuff out, and we're back together.
Love it. 2 last quick things. Can I ask your thoughts on the Tank Davis controversy here in New York, in the same venue? Do you think he got away with one there?
For sure, he did get away with one right there. I think all the professional boxers have already spoken on it. It's pretty clear he got away with something. He took a knee, got wiped down by his corner. You cannot do both of those things, and didn't get punished at all for it. So yeah, he got away with something.
You think Lamont wins the rematch?
Nah, I don't think he wins the rematch.
He takes it more seriously this time?
I think he takes it more serious. I think he now is in the ring with him, and I think he beats him much more clearer.
Okay, last one. I've been dying to ask you this one for a whole year. We didn't have a chance to ask you last time. My favorite thing about that whole fight last year was in the aftermath. Like, you wake up, it's an unbelievable night. We're buzzing. We're like, this freaking guy. In the moment, I'll never forget you looking at us in the corner, I think after the 3rd round, saying, I'm like that, as you're just like blowing him out of the water. Like, you were in such a zone. But then you wake up, and there you are on the New York City subway looking at a map. And I'm like, this freaking guy, like, he just shocked. It doesn't look like you got a punch. Like it doesn't look like there's a scratch. You're looking fresh as a daisy. I don't know. So the 2 questions are, who are you talking to, and where were you going?
I don't know where we were going. We were just taking the subway. We wanted to take the subway for some reason. And we were just enjoying life, bro. We were just on a great high. And it was my friend Ajay, he was recording me. And yeah, man, we were just having fun, posting whatever. We just didn't care. We just I didn't even I really had the mindset where I could just beat his ass and just say to myself, yo, bro, watch this, hold my beer.
Yeah.
That was the mindset that I had going into that fight. And I just stuck with it the whole way through. I just was extremely confident that he cannot beat me no matter what happened, no matter what he did, no matter what drama, no matter what anybody believed. That was my self-confidence was on another level. And I just believed it. And then when I did it, it was just one of the best moments of my life for sure.
It's one of the greatest fights and performances I've ever seen, and I'm so happy that you're back, and I'm so happy to see you're in such a great spot. So congrats on that, and good luck on Friday. Can't wait to see it. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it as always. There he is, Ryan Garcia, kind enough to join us live from New York. He'll be headlining the card on Friday in Times Square against Rolly Romero. Like I said, Devin Haney's right below him in the co-feature, if you will, going up against Jose Ramirez, and Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barbosa Jr. I could see that, by the way. They're going to be in a taxi cab. They're going to go straight to the They're going to go straight to the ring. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be a scene. We have been subjected to a lot of great scenes recently. We go from Tottenham Hotspur to Times Square. There's obviously the card in Riyadh on Saturday night here in the United States, Sunday morning in Riyadh to accommodate this part of the world, and then Sunday you're getting Naoya Inoue in Las Vegas. What a weekend for the sport of boxing. Later in the show, we're going to be joined by Jeff Molina to break his silence on everything that has happened over the past couple of years for him, his team, the betting scandal, where he goes from here. Is he coming back to the UFC or not? In a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined in studio by Eddie Hearn. You guys let me know. Okay. So in a matter of seconds, we're going to be joined by the great Eddie Hearn, who, of course, was there front and center on Saturday at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, that is. They look great. Those stadium shows are great. I wish we could get some of them over here. We probably will get one in September, if all goes well for Canelo against Terrence Crawford. That is the plan. We are getting another one in July at Wembley Stadium. Wembley's a little bigger than Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but the FA Cup semifinals were happening on Saturday and Sunday, so they couldn't do that. But it was perfect. It looked fantastic. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is one of the nicest stadiums that I've ever been to in my life. Here in America, NFL stadiums, MLS stadiums, it's just beautiful. It is so nice. They did such a great job. Unfortunately, the team isn't so good. But
that's the only trophy Tottenham will win is their stadium.
Yeah. One day. One day. You do have Brennan Johnson, so, there is a lot to be excited about. But it is fantastic. If you ever have an opportunity, by the way, it would be great for pro wrestling. For WWE, it would be fantastic. It would be fantastic for WWE. Like a big WWE show, they should definitely do that. I'm sure they have thought of it. It would be amazing. But for boxing, it's great. Dana White doesn't like it. UFC has officially announced some new fights for the Atlanta card I'm seeing here. Obviously, the main event is Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. That's June 14th at State Farm Arena. Miranda Maverick against Rose Namajunas in the Chief support. Michael Chiesa against Court McGee.
Ooh.
Emin Shabazian against Andre Petrosky. Alonzo Menafield against Umar Sy. Cody Brundage on there. So you're getting a good one. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's say hello to the man himself, the head man over at Matchroom. He was there front and center, and he's kind enough to join us once again in studio. I'm so embarrassed.
Have you told the story?
I have told the story.
Oh, right,
yes,
okay.
I said it at the
top.
top.
I didn't think you were a selfie
Can I tell?
at the urinals individual. If I'm honest with you.
I love the way you say that. By the way, urinals.
you know what? It was so funny.
Yeah,
'Cause it was like,
no.
I know that you were taking a picture of this thing, right? But I've come around the corner and you're like standing there.
Yes.
You're like,
It's awful.
Ariel,
I want to
like,
die.
No, I swear, I was just taking a picture. I was like,
The thing is, the moment I did it, I was like, I shouldn't do this. Someone could walk in, like everything about it felt wrong. And of all the people to walk in,
I'm just glad that your trousers were zipped up because otherwise people would start talking.
I'm not even a urinal guy, but I needed to go quickly before the show. Like I'm very.
When you say you're not really a urinal guy,
Yeah.
you don't use the urinals?
I have OCD when it comes to cleanliness.
Right, okay.
So like I don't want your like I just you know
Spraying.
I want to.
Understand.
I like to wash my hands multiple times. It's a problem, actually.
Yeah, it is actually.
It is a problem. So anyway, for you of all people to walk in, golly.
It was just your face.
I'm
Beautiful.
sorry. So great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Welcome.
Wow, amazing.
Do you
I
like
just said
it?
to the guys, I said, still no fee? I mean...
Oh, for you?
Yeah. I mean, I keep
yeah.
coming on this show.
Yeah.
It's like, hold on. So, still no fee. We've established that.
It's not as
Ariel.
much, yeah.
It's good exposure. And then you come into a new building.
Yeah.
That where clearly the show's doing very well financially.
Yeah.
And yet you still, you know...
don't pay.
I
We
mean,
don't pay.
as a promoter...
Yeah.
If all of a sudden we're seen to be taking advantage of fighters, you know, there's
Oh,
this
you're
big
doing this.
and now it's like you guys taking
Wow.
advantage of the talent.
You do like 6 interviews with the same outlet on Fight Week. Like I literally go on YouTube and it's like Eddie, and by the way, it's always like you like this and
I
like
know.
fires back, and
know.
then there's nothing of that sort in the interview.
Carl, I just did IFL in the green room, right?
I'm
and
sure.
they're like, we just commented on the Eubank Ben fight. And he's like, oh, I've got to think about what the title can be. I went, can't you just say Eddie Hearn reflects on the
Yes,
weekend?
yes. No.
It's got to be Hearn slams Eubank. I'm like, I didn't
All
slam
caps.
Eubank.
Yes.
What are you saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
You
but
get
it's
mad
good
about
for us.
that.
I just like the internet and Twitter and like I think in the end it's like it's just going to drive you mad. So like it's like that, you know. Like Saturday night, I came on the big screen at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, like the thunders of boos. Do you know what I mean? And it's like you just have to go into WWE mode and
Sure.
sort of just lap
Play
it
it up.
up.
Yeah.
But obviously you'd rather be cheered. But it is what it is, and there's narratives and. It's just you can't get mad with it. You just got to roll with it. But I think it can. I think it can, especially for fighters as well. I think it's quite unfair for fighters. I think they're different. I'm designed to absorb abuse and stick and narrative and drama and positivity and negativity. Whereas a fighter, they're just giving it 110%. Like they're not really.
And it gets in
designed.
their mind.
Yeah.
They start questioning themselves.
Yeah. And I think especially when a fighter loses, I think sometimes that's why fighters are, that O that we talk about is because they just think that, but if I get beat, the fans are going to turn on me, or, the promoters might turn on me, the broadcaster might, and I can't afford to get beat. Whereas, look, I mean, Conor Benn's a great example of getting beat. You never want to get beaten. You should never want to lose. But when you lose like that, it can actually take you to another level. And that's really what's happened with Conor.
You feel like that's what's happened?
Oh, unbelievable. Like, look, we all know what happened with Conor the last 2 or 3 years. He's been through hell. Like, and there's no point trying to justify him. I stood by his side because I know the man. I 1,000,000% believe him. He's a great kid, a great man. And, like, it's just so pleasant to see even the naysayers go, all right, well, I still don't like what happened, but, like, wow. Because that's all you can ever ask for is someone to give 110%, especially when you're in the trenches, especially in 11 and 12, where you're really taking a bit of a beating from a much. That was the problem for us, was as the fight went on, the size was going to become a real problem. And that's basically what happened. But what fans love is someone that's in those trenches. And I was watching him up against the ropes, and he's just like bang, bang, bang. And you just see him like take a gulp as if to say, you got to go. And it's like, whomp, 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 whomp. And it's like he never stopped trying to win the fight. And that's what fans love. Like, he wasn't trying to survive and hold. Mm-hmm. He was trying to knock Eubank out in 11 and 12, whilst he was taking a bit of a beating in those rounds. And it was just like everything. The fathers, the build-up, the moment. It was like the greatest fight that I've ever seen.
I'm still emotional about it, and my perspective is different than yours. You're his guy, you're his promoter. But I said earlier, it was Shakespearean.
It was, yeah.
It was. I mean, like no WWE person can script anything better than this. And the moment, and I know you have your issues with Chris and Senior and Junior, but like him emerging,
unbelievable.
and then the walkout to me, I think I've watched it 100 times. The songs, their demeanor, Chris's face, the dad, like, as a father, even just thinking of it from that perspective. What a night! Can you appreciate this? Like, can you appreciate, even though you guys came out on the?
Listen, I mean, look, the guy to the right, is a guy that from the age of 10 in my life has been a massive part of my family. Really, my dad went on a run with Chris Eubank Jr., senior, to the World Championships. From a guy that had had a handful of fights, they carved out a plan for him to become world champion. They were inseparable as a partnership, right? Chris had a major role to play in Matchroom's development in boxing. My father was best man at Chris Eubank Senior's wedding. I was at the wedding.
Wow.
I mean, like, Eubank was like a hero in my household. So it's all a bit strange for me sometimes in respect, because kind of I've never really got on that well in a professional sense with Senior and Junior as well. But you have to respect what happened. And I knew that it would be very difficult for Senior not to be there. He loves the big moments, right? And also it's his son. So you'd hope that there was an element of that as well. But then I found out that Turki Al-Sheikh was on the case on Friday. And I thought, in that case, he'll definitely be there.
What does that mean? He
wanted to make sure Eubank was there. You know,
was he paid to be there?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I'd like to. I want to just believe it was the romance,
sure.
You know, and I'm sure there isn't, you know, that there has to be an element of that, right? Because I was sitting front row next to His Excellency, and Nigel and Chris, bizarrely actually, were sitting next to each other, right on the apron, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, they're there, right? And I'm thinking, I actually can't believe what's happening here. How much pride must you like be bursting with now? I know that if that was me in the ring and that was my dad would not stop showing people videos and pictures of that night for the rest of his life.
Right.
He would be, and I know how proud Nigel was, and Senior must have been so proud. You know, some families are warmer than others. Some are cold. And Chris is Senior is an interesting character, you know, and I think, like, one thing I've just learned over the years is that not all families are huggy, like, you know, like, and I actually come from that kind of family as well. Like, I was brought up around love and support, but it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like cuddle, you know, it was just like, right, Dad's out working all the time. This is, and I think that was the same for Junior and probably Connor as well. So, yeah, I just think, like, you couldn't have written a script like it. It was just unbelievable. And, you know, I was just in the ring pre-fight, just like looking at Senior, looking at Junior, looking at Nigel, looking at Connor. And it was tough for Connor because he's still a young man. And I think the occasion was mega for him. And I said to him, and I said, he'll be there, Eubank. I was actually quite pleased that Senior came 2 hours before the fight, because I think if he would have popped up on the ring walk, mentally, that's quite, you know, when you're in the ring and you go, oh my God, he's here.
Yeah.
You know, but even when it happened, you see the iconic pictures of Connor and his dad in the changing rooms watching him.
Yeah.
I skipped the co-main event. I said, I've got to go back and see him, because I just, you know, I know that's, you know, and we the whole team did an amazing job of getting him in the moment. And that was another thing I was really proud for, because he could have melted, not just because of that, but when you walk out, like, where he's in the ring, he was, you know, pacing around. I said to him, look at that. And there's a bank on that stadium that just goes up and up and up and up. I was like, look at that. They're here for you. And he was like, yeah. And he was ready. Like, his performance was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, you said that you thought he was going to be there like 10 days prior.
Yeah.
He's calling his son a disgrace. And I know he said in the ring, I was always going to be there. What do you think he was working us this whole time?
No. I think that
when he said the disgrace stuff,
I think he was, a lot of it, Eubank Senior has to be front and center, right? He lives for moments like that. And I think that, I presume that he was not sulking, but he was angry that he wasn't involved. Do you know what I mean? And I think one of the things that Junior did, probably that he probably doesn't get enough credit for, is a couple of years ago, I think he said to his dad, I want to make my own decisions now. Because all throughout his career, Senior was there. He was making the decisions. He was negotiating the fights. He was the one making the decisions about who to fight and, the final say. And I think Junior just come out of the shadows and went, Dad, I want to be making those decisions now. And I think that's probably why they fell out, because that wouldn't have gone down well with Senior. It's almost like, are you humiliated? Is it humiliated? No, I'm your father. I know this game, So I don't think the stuff that he said in the build-up was part of him turning up on the night at all. Okay. But I think it was just, I looked over at Turkey al-Sheikh, when the images came up of him getting out of the car, and I was sitting front row, and I was like, wow. And I looked over at Turkey, and he sort of looked at me as if to say, like, I did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
proud.
Yeah.
You did call him in the locker room. I think you said he was an effing lunatic.
Yeah.
And this has kind of gone out there, and people are upset about it. What were you referring to when you said that? I
mean, look, the guy he's always been very out there. Do you know what I mean? And listen, I remember growing up, like, he morphed himself into this character when he was fighting. I mean, when he first teamed up with my dad, he was fighting in Atlantic City. He really, he was just a normal guy, and then kind of molded into this character that wasn't a character in front of the cameras. It became this new character, where he would go with my dad down Bond Street and he would buy like a monocle and jodhpurs and boots and a cane from Asprey's, which is the Queen's Jewellers, for, I don't know, 6 figures, and start sort of wafting it around. I mean, we were like, so that expression that I use, it was kind of a reflection of what he's always been. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I know that he's had his problems. And to be honest with you, I was in a changing room at the end of the fight trying to big up Conor Benn. I wasn't really thinking about my language at the time, if I'm honest, but we live in a world where everything's filmed, and we actually put that out, Matchroom. I was like, thanks, guys. but yeah. So, but he's, the choice of words are, right or wrong, but he's always been like just not normal in that respect. Like he's a character, and he's a character that we love, and we need characters like that. But, I've watched this over the years, like, and a lot of people have this persona in public, and then behind the scenes they're not actually really like that. He just became like that,
Yeah.
So
first time I ever met him, he was reciting Rudyard Kipling's "If" to me, like just.
But that
by memory,
that wasn't when he didn't walk into my dad's office.
Yeah.
For their first meeting and go, "Good morning, brother. How are you?" Like with a cane and all this kind of stuff. He was just like a young fighter. But it was amazing what they carved out together. And the whole thing, I mean, he bought this massive truck, and he would just drive it down Brighton seafront at like 5 miles an hour, just going on the thing. He bought, I remember my dad was telling me a story. He bought this certificate, I don't know, it was like $250,000 or something like that, saying that he was officially the Lord of Brighton. And he phoned my dad up and he went, "Bazza, you're not going to believe it. I'm now the Lord of Brighton." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Look." He said, "What's that?" He said, "I bought it." He said, "Oh." But he was a one-off, and he's a bit of a national treasure, Like I say, I haven't always seen eye to eye. My dad would never say a bad word of him. They don't really talk that much anymore, but they went on a journey that you can never, take away. And like, Matchroom. And, I give the props both ways. Eubank played a big role for Matchroom as well. But we've done a brilliant job with Eubank. And, it was one of my dad's, biggest achievements, really, is the way they positioned him. They made him a pay-per-view fighter. Huge deals with ITV. They signed him to Sky after, and he went on this world tour, which I always joked to my dad, which sort of consisted of Cardiff, Glasgow, and London. And I think there was South Africa in there as well. But Eubank... My dad said that Eubank had a couple of rules. Number 1, no opponents under 25. And 2, no southpaws. And they were very careful. I mean, my dad included. If you look at Eubank's record, like my dad just wanted to just get him easy wins, and so that's what Eubank only ever wanted. They never really, you look at the fighters that were around at that time: James Toney, Michael Nunn, like even Roy Jones, like those kind of guys. They never. They were like, swerve them. We're doing our own thing. And commercially, they built an incredible brand with Eubank. And, you know, he was a great character.
Did you see that footage that emerged on Sunday of 13-year-old junior?
Yeah, amazing, yeah.
Incredible, right?
Yeah. And, you know, I think one thing they deserve so much credit for is they both grew up in a privileged or wealthy household, right? And the perception in boxing is always like, you can't come from that background and be tough. You can't come from that, you know. And although I don't always get on with Eubank, one thing that he is, and I said it in the build-up, he's incredibly tough. And his dad was unbelievably tough. Like they both, juniors might, and his dad's chin went a little bit towards the end, but they both have unbelievable chins, and they both got unbelievable heart. And I think, look, I'm the same in the, you know, in the way of my dad. You know, I grew up around money. My dad was successful himself. He made it out of nowhere. And I think that I've always said that if you have a passion in your heart and you want something so bad, that's much more dangerous than where you come from. And those two are a great example of that, because you see that video of Eubank, you can see it there. Like, it's the hunger to step out of your father's shadow. Do you know what I mean? And even that young Chris Eubank Jr. is almost like, Dad, I want what you did it. Why can't I do it?
Right.
I want to be like you. Everybody wants to be like their father. Conor Benn trains harder than any fighter I've ever met. Ever. And a guy grew up in a mansion.
Right.
Right? Junior wanted it bad, and he grew up in that kind of environment. Don't underestimate the one with fire in their heart. You know, and that's why what you witnessed on Saturday is quite amazing to see two kids from that background show so much grit in the trenches. You know, and that's what was just exhilarating about that fight. That both, have you seen the clips of when they're talking to each other?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like
brilliant. It's brilliant.
Weak. You think I'm weak? You're easy work. I mean, it's just like
Yeah.
they're just scrapping. And you know, the thing is as well, it just shows you about the product. It wasn't two unified world champions fighting for undisputed, because I feel like sometimes in those fights it's almost like you got too much to lose, you know. And it's like a bit of a chess match, isn't it? Because it's like, there's a lot on the line. Those two were like, bing bing, let's have it. And it actually shows you, although I do think they're two world-class fighters, the levels aren't the be-all and end-all. The narrative, the desire, the heart, the competitiveness of the fight. And, you know, there's a lot of talk about the weight and this and that kind of stuff. We all got it 100% spot on. Because look at the fight.
Was your dad there?
Yeah, he was there.
When you have these fights and it's sold out, Tottenham Hot, like, does he tell you that he's proud of you? Does he? I know you said it's not like the lovey-dovey type of thing, but obviously he's very proud of you. Like you made that. You pulled this off.
We've done a lot. I mean, you know, for me, like, I've always been taught two things: you work till you can't stand up anymore, and you win. And they're the only two things you need to worry about, right? So my upbringing, a lot of people don't get it, but that's just how I was built. Right? So for me, the only way I could win was to do something beyond what he'd ever done. And now I've built a resume myself of those big fights and iconic moments that, you know, I think he's the first to admit have way surpassed anything that he ever done. But I got a leg up. Do you know what I mean? I'm Barry Hearn's son. So I should be doing much better than him. Because if I just did what he did, that's not winning, really. Like he did the greatest thing. The thing that I'm probably most envious of, which was make it from nothing. I never got a chance to do that. So the hand that I was dealt was, well, you need to do something much more extraordinary than your father. And that's like, you know, growing up around a successful father, it's not like, don't get me wrong, I had a great upbringing, but it's not, to come out of that shadow, it's very difficult, especially when you're talking about Eubank Senior and Ben Senior. Like, yeah, my dad's a Hall of Fame promoter, but he's only a promoter, with all due respect, if you're watching. You know what I mean? Those guys went in there in fights. And I feel like those two, that was the night where they emerged out of their father's footsteps. They become great fighters and warriors in their own names and in their own rights. And that's an incredible achievement in itself. When you got a great like Nigel Benn, who was just, we talk about those fights, like Nigel Benn went over to the US, he fought Iron Barkley, he fought Gerald McClellan in one of the most brutal wars of all time. To be able to say, tonight, son, you stepped out of the shadows and you made it in your own name. That sometimes means more than victory. Very rarely. Like, I haven't actually been upset. I hate losing. Hate it. Especially when I've got like the beef between you.
Right.
I've not even been upset. The moment that bell went, it wasn't like I wasn't bothered about the scorecards, but it was like, look, whatever happens, win or lose here, I was so proud of what I just saw. And it was just unbelievable. And the response, you always want your fighters to win, but the second most important thing, and it's very close, is I need the paying customer to say, I can't believe what I've just seen. That was amazing. I need 65,000 people to leave Tottenham Hotspur Stadium saying to each other and their friends, I can't believe what I've just said. That was the best night I've had at boxing. Or people tuning on DAZN. What great value for money. And that's what makes me, that gives me the buzz. And that everyone's talking, you see it in England, honestly, right now. I mean, people talk about it around the world, but it's like, it's just the biggest thing that's happened for boxing. And sometimes you need something that puts a little bit of faith back in the sport. We will never stop having faith in it, and hardcore fans won't. But you see those guys that come out every now and again for AJ or for Ben Eubank, they'll come next time. And they might come to the smaller shows now as well, because they realise how wonderful boxing is.
You were projecting over 1 million pay-per-view buys domestically.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think you got there?
Very close.
Okay.
Very close, yeah.
Do you know what the number is
They'll
worldwide?
take a while to trickle in. Oh, well over 1 million worldwide.
Yeah.
But, DAZN did extremely well. Sky Sports, obviously a great platform as well. The rematch is on another level.
Okay, so is that the plan?
Yeah, I mean, we all signed a 2-fight deal.
Right, but I did see you say I don't want him to go through this
because
again.
in the moment when you're in a press conference, I mean, His Excellency pulled me up on those comments, at the press. I just said, look, I don't want Conor Benn to have too many fights like that. I need to look at my fighter. He's still in his late 20s. He's a 147-pound fighter. Like, he could probably box at 54 if he needed to, but he's up at 160. Like, he went in the ring at 165. The other guy's nearly 180 in the ring. It's like, and you saw in the final 2 rounds particularly, he's got a mountain to climb in that, but at the same time, he's like, I think Conor Benn said something like to me, if you think that fight was a war, wait till you see the rematch. And I was like, oh, he said, like, he'd been out for 14 months.
Right.
The confidence that he had from the occasion, everything. He's a young man. He's ready to go. I don't know whether Eubank will take the rematch. I mean,
does he? So how does it work? Like,
contracted to.
He's contracted.
Yeah.
What if he doesn't want it?
He may retire.
So his next fight has to be against Conor?
Yeah, signed to. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that was the whole essence.
Unless everyone agrees together.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but
you guys want it.
Yeah, I mean, again, as much as everybody loves to see fights like that, you do have to worry about your fighter keep going through fights like that. And I know that the next fight, Conor will be much better prepared for the next fight, but it's still going to be a war. It's still going to take miles off the clock. And like the aim for Conor Benn is to win world championships. But you can't, one, we've signed for the rematch anyway, but two, the pressure of doing that rematch, like the British public are just like, you have to give us number 2. You have to.
Okay, that's
and
the
we've
sense.
signed for it. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
is it the same deal as like, is it 160?
Yeah.
The 170 pound rehydration, exact
Mm-hmm.
same. Tottenham Hotspur?
I believe His Excellency in the ring after the fight on Saturday said, end of September, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. That's where we want to do it. So obviously, look, Eubank only came out of hospital yesterday.
Right. Do you know the injuries he's
No, it was just, I mean, we were told that he'd broken his jaw.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not broken. I mean, his face looked, his cheek looked in a, but also just exhaustion. And I sent Conor Benn down there or the team. I said, just run him down there. Just go, there's you really need to, it's very easy for every fighter goes, no, I'm all right. And that could be one of the biggest mistakes that's ever made. So you've just had a 12-round brutal fight, go to the hospital, get scanned over, and leave and go to sleep. That's what Conor did. They were 3 beds down from each other.
Wow.
In the hospital.
Did they see each other?
Yeah, believe so, yeah.
Any interaction?
I think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think it's ever going to be.
You don't think he'll be one
juniors
of those?
And junior's not really one for the interactions,
Right.
And but I hope they respect each other now because I think Junior said after the fight, I didn't expect to fight like that.
Right. And is Connor okay? And
He's fine. He had a quick scan. He was training. He went back to the gym on Monday. I mean, it's just mad.
Crazy.
Mad, I know. But Connor's just like, he's so emotional. You know, he's like, I want, you know, and he's already saying, he's coming this week on Wednesday. Like, His Excellency's flying him out. I mean, he's
coming to the fight.
Yeah, media everywhere. I mean, it was a big deal. And he's just like, I'm ready. This rematch, I'm going to be better. I'm going to be, you know, he's just charged up all the time. And yeah, he's a great character.
Do you get the sense now that the British public is behind him? Because there was a shift.
There was. Yeah, it was. I mean, they both got. They said, "Who do you think is going to get booed on Saturday?" And I said, "Both of them." Yeah. That's weirdly what we do as Brits.
Yeah.
I mean, you think one would get booed, one would get cheered, but they both got booed. Like it was. But there is always going to be people that, you know, live that kind of life that just want to, you know, fuel you with negativity. Connor emerged as a hero on Saturday night, and that's one of the things that I was so proud of as well, because you can't not respect it. Like, even his harshest critics went, wow, fair play, that was unbelievable. And you know, it's difficult for a young fighter, you know, the social media, reading all that response, and that's what, it nearly broke him. I mean, you know, he talked about that, you know, and you really have to come off those platforms. Because
if you were a fighter, if a fighter asked you, you would say don't use it at all, or have someone else.
Don't use it, but you can post and you can. But everybody has downtime, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of young people these days, particularly fighters, will use that downtime to scroll, to read responses.
Right.
I mean, if you go to any YouTube video and read the responses, it's like these are the dregs of the dregs. They're people that don't have the ambition, the backbone. And this is like, you know, people say, oh, you shouldn't talk about people like that. No, I will talk about people like that because it's the cesspit of society. Like, you got people that are chasing their dreams. You got people that are working as hard as they can every single day, you know, and you want to knock those people. Like, I know that everybody, you know, it's a platform that wants to give people opinion. I get that. You can say, I think Eubank won. You can say, I don't like you, but, you know, like, it baffles me. And you read those comments and you just think, you got no chance, you. Like, and I don't think that when you have a dream and when you have a passion, why would you let someone try and douse your fire? Like, who you would never, I mean, you know, I heard something the other day on social media, or something like, why would you ever listen to criticism from someone you would never seek advice from? Like, you are letting someone affect your energy and your passion and your dreams of where you want to go. It's not worth it. And I think every young fighter should learn about that. You know, we got a young heavyweight we just signed called Leo Tang.
Yeah.
Like, this kid,
next AJ.
Yeah, he's basically the next Anthony Joshua, 18 years of age. And I was talking to him the other day, and he's put out his announcement. I mean, bear in mind, this kid's 18 years of age, and it's like, he's won the world under-19s. All of his social media is like, go Leo, you know, we're so proud of you at the local club, and you're our hero, and this and that. And all of a sudden, boom, he announces this, you know, new Matchroom signing, and it's like, oh, I bet he's overrated. Yeah. What a load of rubbish, all hype like that. And the kid's saying to me, God, like, how'd you deal with that? I said, mate, unfortunately, this is the sign of life and the sign of the times more than anything. Anyone that's successful, anyone that's making their moves, the ones that don't have that energy, the ones that don't have the fire in their heart, will always try and bring you down. So if it affects you, come off it. Right? You can post, you can interact, but it can't not affect you. That's how I did the same. You know, I ran my own social media accounts for years and years and years. And you just get to a point where after a show, I go back to my hotel, right? And I watch a lot of the fights back, which is quite sick in itself. But I just love to. And there would be a stage where I would just be scrolling through Twitter. Now, that's my life. That's my product. All my energy goes into those shows. So why do I want to read some geezer telling me it was shit, or some guy telling me you're this, you're that? You know, you don't need that negativity.
So are you off it now?
I'm on Instagram. The guys run my Twitter account and stuff like that.
This is big because we've talked about this.
Yeah, but I thought I just got to a point where I'm like, I don't need that energy.
It's too much, yeah. It's intoxicating.
Yeah, and it's not like, when people say it doesn't affect me, I disagree. Like, at some level, it can affect you. And if you're about performance, if you're about being 100%, for what you do, the job that you have, and the ambition that you have in life, why on earth would you let someone that has absolutely no involvement in that at all just switch your energy up? It's like, and since I came off Twitter, my energy's been completely different.
Wow. You don't even go on at all?
No, sometimes people send me stuff. Have you seen this on
you
Twitter?
Don't scroll on
no, but I'll say to Scott, I'll tell him, right, I want you to post this, and they do it. But and the time, the extra time that it's given me, because like you look at your screen time and it might be like, I don't know, an hour, 2 minutes of Twitter in the day. I'm thinking, so now I've got an hour and 2 minutes back of my life where I might be able to do, I don't know, go to the gym, see the kids, play with the kids, or whatever, or work harder.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think people really need to have a think about the social media time and consumption, especially athletes and fighters. You don't need that. It's tough. Connor, when Connor, failed those tests, he was on social media.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I said to him, mate, off now. Delete them from you. Because when you don't see it and you're not fed that negativity, it's completely different. You live a completely different life. And that negative energy that creeps into your life, it's actually so derailing for where you need to be. Same with you. Like, I know you're active on there, and you get a lot of stick sometimes as well. Yeah. Like, some people have got bigger resilience barriers. I'd like to think mine is massive, but it doesn't. I still get. Don't get me wrong. When someone, I went on my Instagram after the Eubank fight, bundles of abuse. This, I hope your family dies. I hope this sort of stuff. And you're just like, whoa, like, I don't need that. Don't read. Like, don't let it consume you and don't let it infiltrate you. That's the key. Because it has to, in some respect, So that was I
appreciate that.
Kind of like, yeah, but because
well, I feel like you're talking to your fighters as well, but also
but to anybody, to anybody watching this. Why? If you work hard and you have a dream and a passion for something, why on earth would you let someone try and derail your mindset? Just the key to life is energy. Right? When you're around someone that has great energy, how that makes you feel. It's like if I'm around AJ or Canelo, I'm like, I come out of that room, I'm like, I'm buzzing. Because you know why? Because they're winners. Right? And it's just, they don't, like, their energy brings you up. So why would you let someone bring you down? Especially someone who you don't even know, especially someone that could never walk in your shoes or doesn't have it in here, and down here to do it, because it ain't easy. You know what I mean? But this is life. Kids, I mean, now we're going really deep. This is a massive problem with kids, even my own daughters. Like, it's just so much, it's a cesspit out there.
It's a huge. I have a son who's turning 13 tomorrow. He's the last one left of his friends without a phone, and I'm holding out because of that.
You've done very well, but I think there's pros and cons of that. I mean, this is for a parenting podcast, but it's like, mine have had their phones a little bit longer, so they've kind of been around it all, so they're a little bit more wise to it now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But every now and again, I'll check their phones because I think every parent should.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could be reading like a group chat or whatever, and that age, it's like. That age, 13 to 18 and beyond, those kind of ages can really change your direction in life.
Sure.
And I come back to that fire being dampened. Like, all I ever want from my kids is just to have an unbelievable passion for something. Could be for Matchroom. I don't know. Could be for playing sport. Could be a boxer. I don't know. It could be art. I don't care what it is. I just want you to live a life of passion. That's it. I don't want you to mope around. And you'll find it some way. But if you keep walking into doors that are closed, or you keep walking into negativity, or people that tell you you're this and you're that and you can't do it, how are you going to break through? And that's the key, is you've got to be resilient, and you've got to have that never say die attitude. Whatever gets in my way, I'm running straight through it. But all those barriers of negativity and energy, and especially as a kid, oh, but what do you want to do that for? Come do this, or you're this, you're that. Like my eldest, like, people know she's my daughter, like, locally. Like, it's not easy. So you're going to get criticism, you're going to get negativity, and that's life. And that will make you resilient, actually. But I worry about kids of this generation. I think it's,
So good. We should do a
Parenting podcast. Yeah. Well, we can do anything.
I'm dying to know more about Friday. We just had Ryan on.
Yeah. He looks well.
What's that?
He looks well.
I mean, it's a different guy. It's a different.
I'm so happy for him. I mean, again, like when
he looks fresh faced.
Around the Devin Haney fight, I actually couldn't believe what I saw.
Yeah,
like, I couldn't believe he was in that fight. Like the first press conference I had for Haney Garcia, I left there going, "What I've seen fighters, lose their mind."
Yeah.
Right. Through, again, probably a little bit of social media.
Yeah.
It might be nights out, could be other substances, whatever it is. I've seen the signs, and I can see them quite early. I saw it with him at that press conference, and I was like, he ain't right. He's in it. And it got worse and worse. That build-up was wild.
Yeah.
Like him on social. Yeah. And, he made his mistakes. He paid the price. But there's something really heartwarming about seeing someone like Ryan Garcia, who is just such a asset to the sport of boxing and such a fresh-faced athlete, and to see him back in that state after what he went through, I think he should be unbelievably respected because he was done. I mean, I was actually looking at him thinking, I don't think you'll ever fight again. I actually thought something terrible was going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Because, and
I thought someone was going to try to kill him.
Or
saying a lot of
or
things.
take his own life. I mean, like in that stage, anything can happen.
Right.
And I think he should really be applauded for how he's come back. He's a great fighter, but he's a great asset to the sport. But most importantly, the Ryan Garcia that I used to know was like this young, happy, fresh-faced kid. And it's the same thing. It's the pressures. I think he's a kid that was sitting on Twitter all day,
right,
reading this, that. Have you seen this? This is happening here. This is happening here. You're this, you're that. And it's just... Next thing, it's, it leads one thing after the other, but really good to see him back. And Times Square this Friday.
How's this going to actually go down?
I mean, this is a Ring Magazine event with Turkey Al Sheikh and Matchroom.
You guys are
Matchroom. Yeah, we're promoting it. We're running the logistics, which is, shout out to Frank Smith, Helen Moxon, Sean, all the team doing them. This is just probably one of the biggest jobs we've ever been involved with.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the vision of His Excellency, Turkey Al Sheikh, and which is just quite incredible, which is like, I mean, don't forget, this is a fight that could have done a $10 million gate.
Yeah.
A show.
Yeah.
Got Teofimo Lopez against Barboza, Devin Haney against Ramirez, and Ryan Garcia against Rolly. And what they said was, no, we want to create something iconic. We want to create something visually that has never been done before. And I said to him, as I say with most things that he does, you're crazy. And when it comes around, I go, that was brilliant. That was genius. Talking about one in July 12. The next one, I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Alcatraz and stuff like that. Like, we had the conversation the other day. Boxing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, MMA, and, I know.
Tell us.
It's a poor relative. And it's never really been that way. UFC, running the Royal, and listen, I'll never criticise UFC. I think it's an unbelievable brand, but it's not their fault. Really, what's happening. I'm sure people will feel like they could have done some things different. It's all cyclical. And obviously with Turkey Al Sheikh's investment, Saudi Arabia's investment in boxing, you're seeing bigger fights, bigger nights, but also more thinking outside the box. And that comes really with spending money. I mean, you look at these promos, you look at the closing of Times Square. This weekend on DAZN, you've got Friday night in Times Square with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez. 24 hours later, you've got Canelo Alvarez's debut in Saudi Arabia for the Undisputed Championship. That's within 24 hours. You've just coming off the back of 65,000 people at Spurs. July 12th, wherever that's going to be. Like, boxing's on fire right now. On fire. It's controlling all the narrative digitally across social media on a far different level to MMA and UFC right now. And I'm just... I'm delighted to be a part of it.
I think part of the problem is the UFC got so big that, like I referred to it last week, it's become McDonald's. So it's all very rinse repeat. They're all wearing the same thing. Every event looks the same. Do you think it's lost some of that magic, some of that soul? Like, look at this weekend. Friday will not look like this past Saturday, and this past Saturday won't look like Saturday night in Riyadh. It all looks different, big. There's a spectacle involved.
Yeah.
There's pageantry. I miss that.
You know, it's interesting when you meet with these brand guys. Like we've got meetings at the moment about kind of like the revamp of Matchroom boxing.
Okay.
Where you always got to keep evolving.
Yeah.
You know, the logo, the look of the press conferences, the ring walks, all this kind of stuff. One of their arguments is your artwork, that you create or your visuals, looks the same as everybody else. Like Top Rank could do a poster and you wouldn't know if it was Top Rank or Matchroom or Golden Boy. I said, so what you're saying that you want the artwork and the visuals to be the same for every event?
No.
Well, I said, that's what UFC do.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but for me, I'm a storyteller, right? So every show has a narrative.
Yes.
This is not Matchroom 36. No. This is Boots Ennis against Stanionis back at the Boardwalk Court, Atlantic City, making history in a unification welterweight matchup for the Ring Magazine Championship, where the former winners were Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Floyd Mayweather. Do you know what I mean? I need that artwork and the press conference and the promo to reflect the story that I'm telling. And that's what we're seeing at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Where it's different. Because sometimes it does get monotonous. Oh, it's another show. Oh, who's on this week? And then all of a sudden you've got like Ben Eubank and like this crazy video game advert, and then the father's here, and then next week you're shutting down Times Square. The product, whilst it's the same sport, it's different every week. And I just feel I don't think I think it's just cyclical with the talent. Do you know what I mean? I don't think if they all of a sudden had these massive fights happening and Conor was fighting and all this kind of stuff, we'd be talking about it's a bit samey and they're all wearing the same stuff. I don't, but you can. I was going to talk about a saying there, but it doesn't. There's a saying, and this is not reflective of the UFC at all, but sometimes it can be reflective of products in general. Polishing a turd.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is what we say in the UK, right? Which means that you take something and you just give it a polish. Turd's probably not the right reflection for the UFC because it's a brilliant product, but you got to revamp it a little bit. You got to remodel it, and sometimes you do that if the talent wasn't quite there. You need a different look and a fresher look. Like if they had, I don't know, Conor McGregor fighting, if Khabib was still around, I'm a bit of a casual. Forgive me, but if Aspinall was fighting John Jones, we wouldn't be sitting here saying it's just a bit tired, isn't it? It's really down to the actual product, which is the fights. And I just feel like they haven't got, like if you said to me now, name me 6 UFC superstars, I couldn't do it. I could give you the ones that seem to keep losing quite a bit and then just come back. Do you know what I mean? But but again, was that just a period with Khabib and Conor and like those kind of
As you said last week, it is cyclical, but look at how people reacted to the walkout on Saturday. They refuse to do that. They actually tell the fighters, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And so to me, what drew me to the fight game was Tyson wearing all black with the towel and the boots. And what drew me to UFC was Chuck Liddell had shorts with, icicles on it, and Tito Ortiz had fire. Like, I like the characters. I like pro wrestling. And so when it feels like that, when it feels larger than life, I'm drawn to it, even if it may not be undisputed title fight. But when it all feels the same, and when the brand becomes bigger than the fighters and the fights, I feel like there's a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, in boxing, yes, Matchroom boxing is a brand and Top Rank is a brand, but the brand is the fighters, and they have their own individual brands.
Right.
And you want that to resonate with the fan base so that they understand that, and I always say to a fighter when we got to build their profile, I don't want you to be, fake. Like, be yourself, and it's up to us as the promoter to build you as a brand, because that's how the fan base tunes in. Yeah, I know Conor Benn, he's the destroyer. Eubank's the guy that walks around with his dad. AJ's the clean cut guy. Tyson Fury is just this character that's out. Like, they're the characters. And like you say, it's like WWE without the script, boxing sometimes. Yeah. And I feel like UFC, the problem is with UFC is I always feel like they always want the brand to be bigger, their brand to be bigger than that of the fighter. And when a star like Conor McGregor comes around, everything changes. And I don't think they really like that. You know, and I think Dana coming into boxing is going to be brilliant for boxing. But I do think that...
Do you really, though? Do you really?
Yes, I do, because it's going to be great profile. And also, why
I felt like on that day you handled it so well. The next day, I think you announced the Johnny Fisher fight, right?
Yeah.
And you were hit with all these questions. But internally, like, they're coming in and saying, you guys are shit. Your thing is dead.
but-
You handled it. I thought you handled it brilliantly.
If you back yourself, right? And this is just me because call me deluded or whatever, but those guys, in my opinion, won't be able to lace my boots in boxing promotion. Now, as a business, as an organisation, as UFC, unbelievable. But this is different. When you go to sleep as a boxing promoter, when you wake up in the morning, nothing is ever the same. You have to sleep with one eye open every single night.
But won't he say the same? I just did that in MMA and I'll do it here.
Because you can't, this is different. Like, you have to, if you think you're going to control this world, which is what they really have done in MMA, and I think that's a similar model they'll try and bring into boxing.
Pro wrestling too, they've done, right?
I don't think it's possible. But prove us right. Like,
but if Turkey's involved,
that's okay. But Turkey's involved with us. Turkey's involved with other stuff. But it doesn't matter who's involved. You've still got to come up and beat the system, the opposition. If you think that people like me, people like Oscar De La Hoya, people like Bob Arum, people like Frank Warren are going to roll over and go, oh, well, it's been a great run, hasn't it? TKO's here now. So, no. It ain't going to go down like that. So it's going to be interesting how it's all positioned. I think what they're trying to do could be actually a good idea. I don't really think it will infiltrate the boxing world just yet. I think they're going to come in, create this league, like young prospects, some guys that are ready for 50-50s.
Are you starting to hear them reach out to people?
Yeah, and guys that, we had a situation the other day. We had a fight that was fourth on the card, and it was a B-side fighter. And they said, oh, I'm not going to be available for this fight now because I'm signed with TKO. And I'm like, with all due respect, I don't mean to be rude. You. Like, no, but that kind of shows me what they're trying to... I don't think Dana wants to go in and deal with these guys that he'll perceived and probably are overpriced to the business model.
Right.
I think he'll want to go in and do the business right.
Can he do both, though? Can he be the president of UFC and the president of this promotion? Yes. I don't like the word league. I think it's more of a promotion, to be honest. But yeah. Can you do both?
Yeah, but it's just, maybe MMA and UFC is at a point where that needs 100% of focus. So if you start diverting, what's going to happen there? Before you know it, if you start losing attention and focus there and swivel into boxing, someone might come over here,
right,
and switch things up. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Look, Dana's a great guy. He's very intelligent. The business is an incredible business. They're not going to come in and fail, in my opinion. But it's just the size of what they do and achieve that's going to be very interesting. And I'll be honest, I don't really fear it. I don't.
What about the Ali Act stuff?
Yeah, there's who knows the truth of what's happening. The Ali Act is designed to defend the fighter and protect the fighter. So if there are going to be variations of that and a kind of strategy to remove it or alter it, I don't, for me, that's something where a fighter would be going, hang on, the Ali Act's there to protect me. What do you want to change it for? What do you want to move it for? I don't know. I don't really know the truth of what's happening in that respect.
Do you think they might be the reason for the Shakur eventual split? He spoke today. I saw an interview where he said, after this fight, I'm a free man.
Correct, yeah.
So it seems like we're leading towards a split between you and him.
Maybe.
Is he the type of fighter do you think they want?
No.
Why not?
Because I think he's very expensive, and rightfully so. He's a 3-division world champion. He's 27 years of age. But for me, listen, I don't know is the reality, but I just feel like these guys have a certain way of running their business. And how can you have a situation where you've got two businesses, the UFC and boxing, and one guy who creates the same revenue as, I don't know, call it Shakur Stevenson, is making $1 million and Shakur might be making 5. I don't think that's going to go down well, if I'm honest with you. And, they'll, as I understand it, Dana and TKO will be promoting Canelo Crawford, even though that'll be a Riyadh season event. That'll be like, they'll be, and that'll be a great start for them. But I think it's going to be interesting. Again, like the similarities between the two businesses, I don't think they're going to want to go too deep on those fighter purses, if I'm honest. I mean, look, if they're promoting Canelo Crawford, that the combined value of those purses is, I don't know, call it anywhere between 120 and 150 million dollars.
But are they paying? Because Mark Shapiro, when he had that investor call, said we're not going to pay.
No, they won't be. That'll be Riyadh season
right.
event. Yeah, but still, what I'm saying is, if you're fronting that up and you're the promotion, and that fight does $1.5 million buys or whatever it does that mean when a UFC fight does $1.5 million buys, they're also going to make 100 million?
No, I don't think so. What about AJ Fury? Will they be involved in that?
In what?
Well, because now, it's going to go to Netflix.
No, AJ's exclusive to DAZN.
Okay,
so
there's no chance.
No, and he's, we know he has a career-long contract with us, and no, there's no conversations around TKO for that fight.
Okay,
but it's a fight that, we're just leaning on or waiting for Tyson Fury.
So he said he's back with Sugar Hill.
I did see that, yeah.
So what does that mean?
I don't know. I mean, it was also, he did it on the same day that it was announced that Usyk's fighting Dubois. So,
right.
But this just comes down to Tyson Fury probably reaching out to AJ. I think when you've got two guys of that level, I think sometimes it's just a little DM saying, do you fancy it?
But at some point, you want to move on with his career, right? You don't want AJ to wait. So when's that deadline?
So AJ's had a little injury that he's been dealing with. So we're not kind of like rushing back to the ring. He'll fight this year. But at the same time, AJ's got somewhere between 1 and 3 fights left. Like, who are you really going to fight? Like, he could fight if Dubois beats Usyk, he could fight Dubois for the undisputed. That'd be great. But
what about Parker?
Yeah, maybe. But like,
Parker got screwed, by the way. I just want. He should be fighting.
I agree.
Usyk.
I agree. I mean,
what happened there? All of a sudden, Dubois doesn't turn up and he gets the title shot.
Yeah, I mean, well, Dubois is a champion already, but he's now fighting Usyk for undisputed. I think Joe Parker deserves a world title shot more than anyone. AJ quite likes that fight, but I can't look at it and go, well, we beat Joe Parker once. I know that was a few years ago. He's not a world champion. It's a pretty tough fight. Money's all right, but what's Fury going to do?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not like doesn't mean we sit there for 2 years and just go, come on, Tyson. But for me, I think sooner or later, Fury's going to go. I think Fury's the kind of guy that would have watched Saturday and gone, let's do it. I mean, that fight, as big as Eubank Ben is, Fury AJ is just, and I just hope, I believe that Tyson will want to give the fans that fight. And, we wait in anticipation, but it's over to him. We can't do anything about it.
Can I ask, and we'll let you go in a moment, you were up there at the press conference on Thursday before the fight on Saturday. And I believe it was the COO of the ring, a gentleman named Rick Reno. And I'm seeing like now every time like the outfits are getting more and more outlandish. And it felt like he was talking about you up there. I know you did a scrum afterwards and you were, but like, what's going on?
I don't know. I mean, look,
what's happening here?
I think that you have to look at like.
Why is it so confrontational?
I think His Excellency loves like drama and like characters, and I think. So I saw Rick in the head-to-head yesterday, and I was like, "What's going?" But I think that probably comes from His Excellency, to be honest with you, saying we've created this little character now. Like I had loads of people going, "Who on earth is that guy in the middle?" And it's like, but I think I took it very differently to how some older promoters would have taken it. Like before that presser, Rick came over to me. He was like, "Look, I'm gonna say a little bit of shit about you and Shalom, like." And I just presumed it would be like, I don't know, where we don't, it's a rivalry and all that kind of stuff. And he's coming out this stuff and I'm like looking at it going, like if that was Frank Warren, or that my dad or something, or Aaron, they would have just, their heads would have fallen off. And like, and then Rick came up to me after, he said, "What do you think?" I said, "I think you're a prick." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, because you have to understand one thing. Fun and games is nice, right? And right or wrong. You see this, what I do, it's my entire life, right? It's my company and it's my family. And it's something that has been created by my father. I couldn't be more passionate or more emotional about Matchroom, boxing, and our company, our fighters, and our employees. So when you want to take a shot at that, especially publicly, trying to be clever, you're not going to see me rant and rave and get, but it can't go away. You know? So actually, I look at those moments sometimes as more of a blessing, because every now and again, you need a little bit of a rocket up the arse. And all that done to me was made me go, all right, no problem. Tomorrow we work harder. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, you need that motivation. So I don't mind it actually, but it's all, you know, fun and games, and like, it's a crazy world at the moment.
Well, what I didn't like about it is that this is your family business, as you said.
But you can, Chris, listen.
But you've been placed that you're just a guy, like, you're in two different roles, and to turn up and say those things about, like, this is in your DNA, it felt a little off, right?
Listen, but you can, I had no problem being criticised, but also, whatever you think about me, or what you can't ever take away is the job that we have done for the sport, right? Especially in British boxing, right? And I've given everything. You know, we made a lot of sacrifices for this sport. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and when you're criticising my product, our product, and you're trying to position it that, you know, the broadcaster's not happy and all this kind of stuff, which is total rubbish. But you can't just expect me to go, oh, well done, mate. That was great. I said to him, no, it's okay. Like, you know, but again, same kind of thing. You can either be friendly or you can just play another game. But that doesn't mean we're going to fall out. It just changes the dynamic of everything. But I don't always like it to be friendly. You know, you got to fire me up sometimes, because we go every single day. And as a competitor, when I hear something like that, it just revs me up. And it just sits in there.
Last topic, we could talk for hours, but I just want to ask you very quickly, all good with MVP?
Yeah.
Lawsuit's over. It's been settled, I suppose. I was at the presser, the Amanda presser. I've never seen Katie Taylor speak like this. The fire, the intensity. Is there any part of you that in the swan song of her career, not being involved in this, does it bother you? Does it annoy you?
No, I mean, that's something that when we made the decision to do it, we all had to acknowledge, you know, and it's not that I don't want to be pushing MVP and the fight. I think the fight's incredible. I think the event's going to be incredible. But
you'll be there.
Yeah, of course. I'll always be there for Katie. But that, you know, Katie's been a DAZN fighter for a long time. And of course, my job is for DAZN. I'm a, you know, I had a DAZN tattoo recently done on.
For real?
Yeah.
On your chest?
Yeah.
What?
Not really.
Oh, no. Okay, I was going to say.
But it's the kind of thing that I would do, to be fair.
Would you?
No.
Do you have any tattoos?
No, but I'm thinking about it.
Chest tattoo?
Yeah, no. So I haven't got DAZN tattoo, but I'm very passionate about DAZN because I launched DAZN boxing.
Yeah, I remember.
And for years we fought and we convinced it. I told everyone this is going to be the home of boxing, and now it is undoubtedly the home of boxing. So Katie Taylor, you know, DAZN invested a lot of money in Katie Taylor. And one thing that I really like about DAZN and the people they work there, they kind of acknowledge opportunities for fighters, right? So in this situation, I phoned up DAZN. I said, listen, Katie Taylor has been offered a huge amount of money to fight Amanda Serrano.
This is
last time.
Okay, yeah.
On Netflix, right? And they're like, well, but like, you know, could we not do it? And I said, to be honest with you, I don't think you pay this kind of money. And I can't not see her get this opportunity. So I'm asking you, we really need her to move forward with this. And they said in response, which I think is very fair, no problem, but I don't want you pushing, you know, the show on Netflix and tweeting about it all the time. Like, you need to be pushing our stuff. I said, that's 100% agreed. So I made the decision. And I don't think Jake and Nikisa want me up there anyway. So it kind of suited us well that we would give Katie the opportunity. She wins the fight. Now, they offer her much more money than the last fight. Again, like breathtaking money. And I'm like, there is no way I would not, like, you know, and they're same again, same model, right? We're your promoter, we'll be there, but we won't be involved in the promotion of the show. She's not worried about that, really. As long as we're there and we're supporting her. Sometimes I feel like they're just trying to, you know, I sometimes watch the stuff and think I would quite like to be there actually to defend her right now, and like about, you know, the rounds and the minute rounds and all this kind of stuff. And it's like the narrative of the last fight was this unbelievable robbery where everybody in the world thought Amanda Serrano won, which is just not the case. It's just a fight that could have gone either way, you know. But it's a brilliant fight, two legends of the sport.
She did an incredible job at that press
Katie
conference.
did. I loved it, yeah.
How she defended
Well,
herself.
I went for dinner with her after the presser, and I was like, I loved it. Where's this come from? She's like, you know, but she's got, you know, again, like AJ, she's got anywhere between 1 and 3 fights left. Like,
how do you feel about them going all in on women's boxing? They just signed Ellie Scottney and a bunch of others. It seems like that's
I mean, it's a bold move. You know, this all-female show. I got to say, like, and I said to Katie at dinner, I said, a couple of years ago, I went to Katie Taylor, probably about 3 or 4 years ago, and I said, I think International Women's Day, we could do an all-female card. And she was like a little bit lukewarm to it, because for me, it's like, it's not about that. It's actually about the women's fights sitting alongside the men's fights, but having priority because they're bigger commercially. That's a better sign of equality than just saying it's going to be all women. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I get it as well at the same time. It's a powerful movement and all that kind of stuff. But actually, I feel like when we did Taylor Serrano 1 at MSG, it sat above Liam Smith against Jesse Vargas, Amo Williams, like a load of our UK talent. There were some other female fights on the card as well, but it seemed to work very well. When you're selling a ticket for a all-female card, it's a different kind of audience than a normal fight. That's just fact. So I think it's a tougher sell, if I'm honest. I think women's boxing, again, is cyclical. I think the big fights in women's boxing are as valuable as ever. And I think the entry level for young talent coming through is also still, you know, firing. It's just the middle level stuff. Like where we've struggled a little bit, it's kind of like your third, fourth defense of your world title in a fight that's just not grabbing the imagination. That's nothing to do with men and women. That's actually the same with the men. If you're in your second or third fight, defending your world title, and fighters like I saw Ellie at the weekend, I said, I'm so happy because I kind of had done everything I can with Ellie, and now you've got to kind of move to the next level of money, because it just goes that way, and she deserves it. And I think this is a brilliant opportunity for her, because I'm not sure what more we could have done. Again, like Ram, like all of those, they're all great fighters, and I think for women's boxing, what MVP are doing is incredible.
Love it. I love it, Eddie. I love what's going on this weekend. By the way, it's not just Friday, Saturday, also Naoya Inoue fighting on Sunday as well. So what a weekend for the sport. We're getting a similar situation in July, although we don't know where that July 12th card will be just yet. Maybe in Central Park. Maybe.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. Thank you very much. Appreciate you very
Cheers.
much. Good luck this weekend, and congrats on this past weekend. Really. Unbelievable stuff. All right, there's Eddie Hearn. We're going to take a quick break. Jeff Molina is going to join us for now. Classic interview with Nick Diaz all the way back in 2011. Do not go anywhere.
Ariel Helwani in Las Vegas alongside Nick Diaz, who on Saturday night faces BJ Penn in the main event of UFC 137. And Nick, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it. I also want to thank you because every morning I wake up and I get a few people online who tell me that where they come from, people like me get slapped. And that's because of you. So I feel like I thank you for that, because a lot of tough people online are now threatening me every day, and I think that's partially some fans of yours. So thank you for that.
Right on.
It's something that I think we'll never live down. We can leave it at that. You don't still feel that same way, right?
About that you should be slapped?
Yeah.
No, I mean I'm over it. I got thick skin.
Good. Me, not so much, and that's something I need to work on. But let's talk about this fight that you have. A lot of people are looking forward to it. A lot of people have been waiting for you to get back to the UFC, and I'm wondering, you strike me as the kind of person who enjoys training for a fight and the build-up for a fight, maybe even more so than the actual fight itself. But I'm wondering if this has been fun for you, this ride leading up to 137 with all the stuff going into it.
No, I don't think it's been, a good time coming into this fight. But it's hard times, leading up to any fight. I think I try to make the best out of it, of course, and but I think it's this is a hard job when you're in at the top, and it's just it's hard times.
I know you've talked about it, but if you don't mind, we've never actually had a chance to talk about it. So if we could just go back to when all this started, do you feel as though you were treated fairly in all this, or do you think at the end of the day, like a lot of people who support you say, if you come to fight, that's all that matters. The other stuff, the press conferences, all that, it's just things around the fight. But as long as you keep coming to show up to fight, then you should not be reprimanded. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. This is fighting, and I come to fight, and I don't. If any fight I would have, chose to pull out of or fake an injury, or it probably would have been this one. But I'm here, so I've never done that before, and I've fought every 3 or 4 months since I was about 17, and this has been a big gap since my last fight. I had one gap like that. I mean, in my lifetime as a fighter, since I've been about 17, 18, I've been fighting every 3 months. So it's, like I said, it's hard times leading up to every fight, and that's just been my whole life. So.
Do you remember what it felt like when you heard that you were now not fighting in the main event anymore, and for a moment we didn't even know if you were going to remain on the card?
For me, I think it's just, it kind of figures, it's just I expect stuff like this to happen to me. So
why is that?
I just do. I just how I don't know. That's how I look at things, I guess. I just kind of expect the worst, especially and once I go out to fight, I try to visualize all the worst possible things happening to me that could possibly happen, and go over each and every one of them, and accept that as it being like a reality, and I think it makes things go a lot smoother. Other people are always like, they always want to think about the positive, don't think about the negative, and I'm like that, I believe that thinking about the negative is kind of, a way of canceling out all these possibilities one by one, because the odds are I'm not going to guess what's going to happen, but if I can guess every scenario gone wrong, then maybe I can change the outcome.
Do you think that the UFC never really wanted to make this fight? Because in the video that you put out, it seemed like you were saying that they didn't want you to fight GSP, and that's why they did this.
Yeah, sure. I don't feel like anybody wants me. No, I was going to go to pro boxing. I think that I don't think anybody wanted me fighting with GSP for the title. That's the first thing that comes to mind, that they don't want me fighting. But I didn't know that I have a lawyer now, as soon as I got that contract, and it kind of changed a lot of the way I feel about things. You figure you got somebody who's gonna tell you what to do and what not to do, and like, for instance, like, hey, you don't show up at this thing and you're not fighting, so you have to do this, you have to do that, or they're gonna, this is in the contract. But nobody, I might as well read my own contract. So had I done that, I would have been walking on eggshells a little bit more, I suppose. But it was, for the press conference thing, it was just I really got back from a hard race in Tahoe. I was up there doing altitude training, and I got back and I took first place up there in Xterra. I just do, for fun, the Xterra circuit. It's mountain biking and triathlon. And if I do that year round, it keeps me in great shape year round. Just if I come in decent with some of my age group. And I took first place in my age group. It was like the first time, so I had a really rough week, and I was really pushing hard, and I was really, going for it. And when I got back, and I was kind of been out of shape about training, not really going, the way I would have liked it to. I wanted a lot more sparring lined up, and I wanted, I just things weren't going well with my camp. I was having a lot of arguments about, what we're gonna do for training, and all these guys they're all really, this MMA is really big right now, and all my partners, they got stuff to do, they don't have time to worry about me, and everybody's doing their own training out of town, so that's what I was doing. I was doing my own training too. And when I got back from Tahoe, I just crashed really hard, and it was just, I wasn't really feeling like talking to anybody or talking to my camp, and we were kind of in like a fight, and I just wasn't really clear on things, what was going on. I didn't even know where I was going. I was telling people I was going to New York because that's where I thought I was going first. So I was like, man, I don't want to go to New York. I'm telling them I got to go to New York this weekend. I don't want to go. And I think day by day I'm trying to recover, but I was kind of falling into that slump of, just kind of pretty much just crashing from hard training. And so, it's going to take me a good 4 or 5 days to come out of that before I was even feeling right or thinking right. I need to get some rest and do some recovery workouts and get back at it. I think this would have put me in line to be in great shape for this fight. And things just went the way it did. My brother, he just said, we all live in a house full of guys, but and I like it actually. I've had a great time, staying there. A couple guys, Brian Reese and my friend Mauricio, who I started doing jiu-jitsu with, a couple jiu-jitsu guys, and it's a good time living with all them. But he was getting a little old for him, so he wanted to, he wants to buy a house and get stuff moving, get his life together, moving a little bit. I'm still more like I have no life as long as I'm fighting, so I was happy living there with these guys because, they're all pretty much doing what I'm doing. And so he made the move, and he rented this place like kind of down around the corner sort of thing, and asked me if I wanted to come with him, or you're going to get stuck paying rent if you don't want to stay there. So I was like, man, I'm not sure what I want to do. And he asked me if he wanted me to have the movers move my stuff, and I said, yeah, sure, go ahead and move my stuff. So they went over there and moved all my stuff, and I got back into my room to where what was left there, I had my bed, everything's gone. So I'm looking around for my passport where I knew it was, because I had to jump on this flight, and I couldn't find my passport. And I don't have a license. I don't have one yet. I'm working on getting it back, but I don't drink and drive or anything. I don't even drink. Well, I have a good driving record too at that, but as far as like crashing or anything like that, but I've got a lot of speeding tickets before that daily fight, and to make it up there to you can't be late. You can go over there sparring Andre Ward. You got to show up on time, and I had to learn that the hard way actually. But it's hard for me, because I live an hour away though, and I tend to overtrain here and there, and it's just I have a hard time getting to bed at night. So. I just got a lot of speeding tickets. I didn't have a license. I have any form of ID. Right now I got a California ID in my pocket so that I could, I wouldn't have issues flying around and stuff. Or, as soon as I let them know, I'm like, hey, I don't have, my passport and everything. And I got that stuff together. But, while that was going on, I couldn't find any form of identification to leave the country. And then I found out that you can fly without ID, like to Vegas, if you're telling them, hey, and they put you through more security, and which was kind of a stressful thing to even think about. This was really.
All right, there's my conversation with the great Nick Diaz from back in 2011. That was prior to his fight against BJ Penn, I do believe, off the top of my head, UFC 137. That's a long one. That was like 25 minutes. And one of my favorites with him. So if you want to watch it, it's up on the channel right now. Thank you to Eddie Hearn. We appreciate his time very much. Always great chatting with him. I could have gone another 2 hours with Eddie if I'm being 1,000% honest with all of you. I had so many other topics to get into. I wasn't expecting us to get into parenting and phones and whatnot, but that's what I love about these conversations. They flow in many different directions, And yeah, that was a fun one. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. We move along now and go to our final guest of the day. And as I said at the top of the show, I do believe this is the first time that he speaks in quite some time. It has been obviously a roller coaster ride of a couple of years for him, and I really do appreciate him coming on. We got some conclusion, some finality to his situation. We know that he'll be able to come back later on this year. I do believe in November he'll be free and clear to return, but there's a lot to get into with Jeff Molina. He is kind enough to join us, so let us say hello to him right here and now. There he is. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
It's good to talk to you again. Thank you so much. Am I correct in saying this is the first time that you're talking about all the stuff that's happened over the last couple of years?
I'm speaking, brother.
I appreciate it. Well, thank you so much for coming to us. It does mean a lot. How are you doing? Just, if I can ask, like I said, roller coaster ride, I would imagine would be putting it mildly. You did get some sort of like finality to it all, and we'll get into all the details, but just like, how is life? How are you doing?
Life's good, man. You asked me the same question a year and a half ago. It was looking grim. Definitely roller coaster of emotions is saying it, like you said, mildly. Yeah, but I'm doing well now, and got a lot to talk about.
Okay. I was thinking, where do we start? Because there's such a story here, and I saw you just tweet, a few things about, the betting and the Derek Minner fight, and I think the kind of the simplest place to start is here. How long have you been betting on MMA?
Let's see. I had my debut April 2021 on. Am I pointing the right way?
There it is. Yes.
Yeah, 261. Fight of the night. Don't forget it.
Yeah.
So because I got the bonus, kind of similar to a Wellmaker, I was able to quit my job. I was working like 30 something hours a week at T-Mobile, slinging phones, and it was paying well. My employer, my coworkers were all super cool and awesome. They'd come attend my fights and knew that the goal was to get into the UFC and eventually quit that job and kill it in the UFC. It's been my goal and dream since I was a kid, since I was 14 years old. So they got to kind of watch me have these regional fights, attend them to Contender Series, to then have the debut, get the bonus. Because of the bonus, I was able to quit my job. But so I had that debut in April, and then I ended up quitting my job, I think late July, early August, around then. But I was freaking out, man. I was scared to quit my job, but I knew it needed to be done. I knew I needed to be able to. I was training full time, but it's tough when you're getting off from practice and then you're going to work and then you're waking up 6 hours later to go on a run, then practice again. So it's just a lot easier if your full-time gig is fighting, especially at this level. But I was terrified to quit my job. So I went to my coach at the time, James Krause, and I was like, hey, I think it's time I quit, but I'm fucking scared that I'm going to tear my ACL next week during practice. And then, I'm shit out of luck that there's no way to make money. And at that time he was like, dude, don't worry. He was like, there's ways to make money. And I got to betting on MMA August of 2021. It started off with like a WhatsApp group chat with like 4 or 5 people. And if you know Krause, he's one hell of a coach, man. That's what sucks with all this, is that his legacy is like forever been tarnished. But ask any fighter that's been trained under James, like he would have went down. I think he would have been like the first Hall of Famer coach. Like he was that fucking good. So obviously a mastermind of the sport, could break down fights very well. And it started with just making a couple extra $100 a month, which helped for a guy that wasn't working a job and training full time.
Did you ever bet on your own fights?
No. My second fight in the UFC, I thought about it, but I was like, I got so much shit to worry about, man. Yeah, no, never bet on myself.
Did you ever bet on your teammates' fights?
Yeah, for sure.
Did you ever bet against them?
Yeah. But it was never like people that were. We had a lot of people coming from out of town. So it was never, one name comes to mind, and I don't mind saying it. I bet against a former teammate, and he would come across train and do like 2 or 3 weeks of his campus. It was never like really his own base. Joe Holmes, I remember betting against him. didn't think he looked the best. Yeah. But that was my own personal decision. There was,
Sure.
Yeah, but
was there ever a
yes,
scenario where you knew that someone was hurt? I'm not talking about Derek Minner here, where you like saw someone like twist a knee and you're like, oh, this guy's going to get smoked, so let me bet against him.
No.
Okay. So you're saying this starts in August of 2021.
Yeah.
The Derek Minner fight happens in November of 2022. What happened?
Yeah. So eventually the WhatsApp group chat like turns from 5 people to like 20 people to like 50 people, and then
and what's going on there, by the way? Is it just people like sharing opinion, insight, and is it all people on the team, or is it just like random people?
It was random people. There was like ESPN journalists, and again, it started off like 5 people, and it was just simply like, hey, I like this guy this weekend, and then it turned into a more like systematic thing where it's like 2 units on this person and this and that. And eventually it turned into a Discord group where Krause was breaking down the fights, and it was a paid subscription. And before you know it, it was like a paid group, just kind of like a lot of these sports betting cappers have. And he'd break down the fights. James had a podcast. Again, this dude is a mastermind of the sport. And it really sucks how this all played out, because he was this super well-respected guy, and because of the appearance of what this all looked like, it really tarnished his legacy. And yeah, it sucks, but nevertheless, yeah, he was killing it. Paid Discord, had a podcast, break down fights, even for the UFC, he'd break down fights. Excuse me. And he was doing well. He was doing really well, and I was making, went from making a couple $100 a month to like $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, which again, for a guy getting ready for his like sophomore appearance in UFC, the pay scale is lower. That helps a ton, man. Helps a ton.
I'd be remiss if I don't ask. You mentioned ESPN journalists are in the group. Who is in the group as far as media is concerned?
I'm not going to name drop Ariel, but
okay.
It like nothing shady was going on. Everyone was allowed to bet at the time. And it was just like, hey, if fucking Randy Brown's fighting this weekend, I like him to win 2 units on Randy Brown. And it was free. It was literally a WhatsApp group chat, and it was friendly. I had to get roasted a lot on there. James being my coach, and we just shoot the shit. But yeah, eventually it turned into a more like organized group.
So the Minner fight in early November 2022, he's fighting Shailin Nerdembeki, and then all of a sudden, right before the fight, it seems like there's a ton of activity, and he's now a massive underdog, right?
Yeah.
Did you bet against him, knowing any insider information about the state of his body going into that fight?
Yeah. So prior to the Minner fight, I would say about 3 weeks, he's in the gym. We're going live. I think it was a Wednesday, because it was like a grappling day. We were going live. So it's full grappling with submissions. And I remember, or maybe it was, it was a live practice, meaning you're going live at the end. It's 5 rounds, 25 minutes. And the whole room stops because we hear a loud scream, right? There's not a worse sound than a grown man screaming in agony.
Yeah.
Hate it. It just like makes you cringe. I've dealt with it since I was like in wrestling, high school. People would like post their arm and their arm snaps, and then you just hear a grown man screaming at the top of his lungs. It's like, So the whole room stops. Obviously something happened. He's grabbing his leg, grabbing his knee. The room stops for a couple minutes, and then we kind of just continue. They like put him to the side, and I didn't know if he was in a fight or not. That being said, and I'm not saying this, like, I know there was a narrative like, oh, he's only saying this to try to make it look better. Completely being honest and no bullshit, I also had money on Minner. If you look at Minner's record, he's a first-round fighter. And I thought, hey, if he's actually going to fight with this knee, you only get paid if you fight, right? And a lot of fighters do this, but the UFC, obviously we don't have insurance, but the UFC will cover any injury post-fight. So many fighters go into fights injured because of this. I've never gone into a fight healthy. And then it's kind of a joke amongst fighters that after the fight, they ask you, hey, what hurts? And you say head, shoulders, knees, and toes. Everything hurts. Yeah. And even the Dr. Davidson with the UFC, he'll like joke about it. He's like, oh yeah, this hurts. Like even knowing like it doesn't, but we're gonna get it checked out. He's like, how about this? Does this hurt? So knowing Minter's mindset that like eventually I learned that yeah, he's gonna go through with the fight. I was like, oh shit. I knew it was gonna be like a kill or be kill type thing. If you look at Minter's record, every single one of his wins is in the first round, besides the Charles Rosa fight. And that was when he started working with us, and Krause was gonna be like, I'm gonna make it to where he can go a full 15 minutes and still win. But I also had Minter in the first round. I thought, hey, his best chance is he's going to try to get this dude out of here. He knows he's compromised and he's going to try to win. It wasn't crazy money. It wasn't anything out of the ordinary that I wasn't already doing in every prior event. I had money on the rest of the card, probably $2,000 in total on wagers on that card. And 2 weeks prior to that event, it was completely fine to do that. And then we got an email 2 weeks prior to the Minter fight, and it was like, hey, UFC athletes are no longer allowed to wager on fights. And I made the mistake saying, hey, this is an email. How serious are these guys? How serious is this? You know, it was a way of me making money on the side. Turns out, Ariel, they were very serious. Obviously, what followed, and even the betting line going crazy and out of proportion made it look like something fishy, sketchy was going on. And yeah, that resulted in my suspension.
So how do you explain that part? The betting line dramatically changing. Did the group then find out that he was hurt, and all those people, you know, because it's one thing for you to have insider info and being like, yo, I'm just gonna like put 500
right
on Nurnberg. What contributed to the tidal wave?
Yeah, I would think word got out. Obviously, there was lots of people in the gym that saw the injury. You know, we had about 16, 17 UFC fighters in the gym, on top of, you know, just, you know, your regional pros, your average Joes in the gym. I would think that word got out, because I think for a line to be that manipulated, a crazy amount of like millions and millions and millions of dollars would have to come in to change the line. That's the only explanation I can think of how a line would move that drastically. And obviously, if the line never moved, nothing would have came from this. Nothing would have,
right.
You know, it was just, fighters are still actively wagering on fights. They tweet about it all the time. I fucked up. I should have stopped when the UFC said stop. It wasn't worth the fucking $1,000 I won that night on that card. I think something happened behind the scenes to where word got out, hey, this guy has a torn ACL. You know, obviously it wasn't known that his ACL was torn till, you know, he got it. Yeah, I know he had surgery on it after the fight and whatnot, but that was the case, you know, and it resulted in a 3-year suspension.
Did the Discord channel know? Like, did it get out there, to the best of your knowledge?
No. James would never talk about our fighters when we were fighting. So
okay,
that was something he wouldn't cross. Whether he wagered on them on his own, who knows? But he would never talk about, like, if Julian was fighting or if I was fighting, he would never say, "Put the house with Jeff Molina." Like,
sure,
no.
Sure. To the best,
especially us being present in the group, you know.
Right. To the best of your knowledge, did Derek Minter throw that fight?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Go watch any of Minter's fights. He is a killer be killed type of fighter. The whole situation surrounding this, like, couldn't have been shittier, right? JK going on your show and like almost being a little braggadocious about the betting thing, and you know, he was trying to do what good marketers do, is promote his channel, and it was completely legal and it was completely fine. And to the whole situation surrounding it couldn't have gone fucking worse, and making it look like what people say. Like, I tweeted back at one person because it bothered me, but he was pretty much insinuating that, like, that I was this like criminal master. I was a 23-year-old kid, and I was this criminal mastermind wagering millions and millions of dollars and set up a fixed fight. And it's fucking ridiculous, Ariel. Like, if I made millions and millions of dollars, I would be on a yacht in Mykonos right now, having the best time of my life. That's going to be farther from the truth. So no, definitely not. Yeah. I don't have contact with Minner. Like we were never super close, super tight. Like we were friendly, like at the gym, like
Sure.
I would teach a kickboxing class at the gym, and sometimes he'd take my kickboxing class, and he was a teammate, but we were never like grabbing drinks after practice and stuff. So
Did you corner him in that fight?
No.
Oh, were you there?
No.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, did he bet on himself to win or lose?
I don't think so. We never discussed betting. From my knowledge, I don't think he was ever in the Discord. So no.
So why did he get suspended?
It's a great question. Oh, I know. Actually, I know. His failure to
disclose.
Disclose. That was the reason for his 2-year suspension, man.
I have a hard time believing that. If only I'm not.
Ariel.
But fighters, to your point, like they write, they fill out these forms all day. No one's gonna say, like, we've heard about fighters like
Ariel. Imagine Moicano having to disclose that his shoulder's blown out or his collarbone's fucked.
Yeah,
and then beating BST, Dillashaw, his shoulder against Aljo, like every fighter.
That's why he
injured,
got.
Dude.
So why'd you guys get lumped together?
I've never had a single fight where I was healthy. What was that, brother?
Why'd you guys get lumped together though? Seems like two different issues.
I think it was appearance. I think it was like, no one's ever seen a line movement like this. This is fixed. This is this. And then, but if you backtrack a little bit, Krause talking about the Discord and it just all fucking looked terrible. And I think it was just strictly off appearances. Like fighters fight injured literally every single time. No card could be kept together if we all had to disclose our injuries.
For sure.
So yeah, ridiculous, man. And if we're talking about the commission, dude, they couldn't have. I don't want to say the commission. I don't know. It was so much. So the only communication I've ever gotten prior to October was an email on December of 2022 informing me of my suspension because of wagers made on the Derek Minner fight. So that was in December. In January, I get informed that I'm indefinitely suspended. Another email because an investigation is taking place. Until the investigation's over, I'll be unsuspended. So then I had wrist surgery, I think in July. So I couldn't fight anyway. I was out for a year. That's the only communication I've ever had with the commission. I think at the time, Attorney General Joel Becker was the one that was writing these emails. Okay. So first year, I can't fight anyway. I've had surgery. Whatever. Year number 2 comes around. Still haven't heard a thing. I'm asking for updates. Last March, I asked my manager, I said, hey, like, can we reach out to the commission? Like, what's going on with this, man? Like, the hand's feeling better. I've done my rehab. I can train. I'm training all the time now. Like, what's going on? He reaches out to the commission. The commission, I think the commission director said, hey, investigation's still ongoing. It kind of sounded like he felt bad for me from, I got it. I heard this from my manager, so I'm getting it secondhand, but it kind of sounded like he felt bad for me. He's like, yeah, man, unfortunately, the investigation's still going, but I hear it's wrapping up soon. All right, cool. That was March. I asked again in the summer, no update. Now I'm like, dude, I'm in the prime of my career. Yes, I made a mistake, but I've been suspended for 2 years now. Like, what are we doing? So I hear nothing, and I take it amongst myself to reach out to the Attorney General, Joel Becker, I believe is his name. And I simply just go back to the emails from 2021 or 2022, excuse me. And this is in October. And I give him a call. I track the phone number down at the bottom of the email, and I give him a call. And I get no answer. I write a couple of emails to him, and they all get forwarded back to me saying like this email doesn't exist. So then I look up the Attorney General's office in Las Vegas, give them a call. I speak to an assistant. I say, hey, can I speak to Joel Becker? He's like, yeah, 1 second. After like 5 minute, 10-minute wait, he goes, actually, Joel Becker no longer works for the state of Las Vegas.
What?
And this is the guy that's in charge of my my case, my hearing, my commission, whatever, my suspension, I guess. And I was like, okay, can I get whoever's in that role now He's like, yeah. So I get in contact with Attorney General Matthew Feely, and I want to give him a shout out because he's the man. You know, he literally did something in a 4 or 5 month period that I was waiting on 2.5 years for. So I spoke to him and I said, hey, this is what's going on. I've been suspended for over 2 years. Haven't heard jack shit. Like, what's going on? Do you have any update for me? So he pulls up my case. He's like, yeah, give me a sec. He pulls it up and he's like, have you been contacted by anyone? The gaming commission, the commission, like anything? I'm like, nothing, man. All I got was an update back in March saying, hey, you're still suspended indefinitely because the investigation is still going, but it should be over soon. But fast forward 6 months, and I don't know what soon means to people, but 6 months, I would think it would happen a lot sooner. But he's like, wow, man, let me get back to you. I think we had a conversation like a day or two later, and we went into full detail. I was like, hey, this is what happened. I fucked up. I got an email that said, stop gambling. I continued to gamble. There was crazy line movement on a fight. It looked terrible. And now I'm suspended for over 2 years, and I haven't heard anything. So he's like, all right, I'm going to get on this. He's like, this is crazy. He apologized. He's like, I got a bunch of cases put in front of me. Excuse me. But I'm going to get on this. So I think November, December time, we stayed in contact, emailing, and every now and then he'd call me. And basically, I think in December, he said, hey, we're going to do what's called a settlement. And a settlement is basically both parties agree to it, meaning the executive director of the commission agrees to a settlement with you. We both sign it. And as long as the rest of the commission, I think it's like a board of 6 people. So if they all agree with the punishment on the settlement and the terms of the settlement, then you're good. He's like, right now, it looks like your suspension will go to November. But yeah, this is good news. And I was ecstatic. I was like, oh, let's go. Like, finally something. So I was supposed to have a hearing in January. That got postponed to February. And then the February one got postponed to March. The February one got postponed because, and I quote, the commission didn't want the media attention at that time.
What? Jesus.
But the attorney general said, like, hey, it doesn't matter because like it's not going to shorten the time of your suspension anyway. On the last phone call I had with them prior to it was like a week before the hearing, or maybe 2 weeks before the hearing. Yeah, it was, because it was supposed to be March 15th. It's supposed to be sometime in March, and it got postponed like a couple weeks in March. So it got postponed like 4 times in total. But basically I was like, how does this work? Like, do I have to be there? Like, because I already signed the agreement. And he was like, you don't have to be there. You can be on the call if you want to. But I was like, hey, I've been thinking about this, but is it possible to, like, is this negotiable, the suspension date? Like, can't I just like be free to go now? Like, isn't like 2.5 years enough for wagering on fights? Right. You know, something that was allowed to do for, and people think when I bring up like, oh, other fighters are betting on fights and people make mistakes to serve their punishment, that I'm like downplaying what I did. I fucked up without a doubt. There for sure had to be a punishment. It's just, you know, the punishment has to match what I did. And I thought over 2 years is plenty of time for suspension. Like, I learned my lesson, man. Trust me. So I was like, hey, is this negotiable, the date? And he's like, well, yeah, it was. But, you know, we already came to terms with the executive director that it's November 5th. I was like, oh, okay. But basically in the settlement, you could negotiate the fee, what you're supposed to pay, the suspension date, and then all the other 5 people of the commission have to agree with the settlement, right? So that's what the hearing is about. The executive director has already agreed with the settlement. I've already signed it, and now the other 6 or 5 people have to agree with the terms.
Can I ask though,
nah,
if you never brought this up, like, would you just be sitting there?
Yeah, 100%.
You think this thing would have just dragged on forever? If you just said like, I'm done, or I don't want to call, I'll wait for them to call me. They would have just
And that's what I was being told to do. That's what it was. Just like I was tired of waiting, man. I was, and in hindsight, I do think I wish I would have. The thing I wish I would have done differently, obviously, other than not fucking wager on this card and just took the email I got from Hunter Campbell that said, "Hey, all UFC athletes, stop wagering."
Right.
Wish I would have not wagered, and I'd still have all that time back, and things were on the up at that time, and I was ranked number 13 in the world. Nevertheless, the only thing I wish I would change is I was so eager to sign that once I was like, "Oh, you said November 5th? That's when it is? Sure, I'll sign the settlement." On there, it took everything I had said to the attorney general as far as like, this is how much I wagered. This is what I had other bets on that card. I bet on this fight, on this fight, on this fight. I wish I wouldn't have been one. I wish I would have negotiated the suspension date because I didn't know that was a thing. I was presented with, "Hey, you're suspended till this date," and I was like, "Sure." I didn't know that was negotiable. Two, I wish I would have negotiated the lingo that was used. It did bother me that, and this was on the settlement, so I can't be too upset, but it said I had a significant wager on the fighting question, meaning the Minner fight. If you're calling $350 significant, that's insane. And it makes it sound terrible. It makes it sound like, again, I'm this criminal fucking mastermind that had millions of dollars on this fight. So I wish I would have negotiated in the settlement to say, "Hey, we're not including that lingo." You can say he had a wager on it, but it wasn't significant. Like, that's subjective. What do you mean significant? And I think it just makes them look better. Like, "Oh, we're suspending him for 3 years because of this." And I was just so eager to sign the thing. It's like, "Hey, you're suspended till November." So I was like, "Oh, cool. Like, let's go. Finally, something in the last 2.5 years that gives me a conclusion to all this shit."
And so how did they find out that you even bet on this fight? Like, how did they find out that you...
That's a great question.
You have no idea?
No idea.
Really?
All I know is that in December of 2022, I got a call from my manager that was like, "Hey, you're suspended from the UFC, or you're suspended from the commission, and your fight with Jimmy Flake is canceled until your suspension's over."
To the best of your knowledge, did any other fighter get suspended?
No. I think all that stuff's public, so I think it was just me, Minner, and then Krause got his like cornering license suspended because he was not a active fighter anymore.
Right, and he's banned for life, right? Like, he can't corner anyone in the UFC.
I don't know about banned for life. I think the commission is trying to do something similar with him as far as like a settlement.
Okay, you think he might be back?
Him and I don't really see each other as as much as we used to, because again, he used to be my head coach. I'd see him every day.
Yeah.
But he seems to be killing it in what he's doing, man. He's killing it in real estate. He coaches jiu-jitsu a couple times a week at his gym. I don't think he has a want or need to go back to fighting, especially with, I really do think that the whole MMA community as a whole owes him an apology. This dude, fucking stand-up guy. I'm forever thankful for all the lessons he ever taught me. I put myself in this position. It's no one else's fault. I wagered on fights after the UFC said stop. He could still wager. He was not an active fighter. This dude was a mastermind of the sport. Would have went down. I think it would have been the first Hall of Famer that's a coach. Like, legit. Any fighter that's trained underneath him would tell you the same. Like, this guy is a fucking wizard. And it sucks that his legacy got tarnished.
Do you know if he bet on his fighters?
I think he had. Like, I think there was fights that and he wouldn't tell us, right? Like, he wouldn't put extra pressure on the fighter, like, I have X amount on you. But yeah, I think so.
To lose?
No, never that.
Did he bet on Derek to lose?
No.
Do you know if he bet on that fight at all?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. I'm just wondering how the huge swing happened. Because again, like, if you're doing 500 and this dude's doing 5, even if 20 of us are betting $300, that's not moving the line.
Even if we were betting $50,000.
So who did
like it takes.
Do you have any idea? How did it get to a point where it swung that dramatically?
I think for that to happen, the word needs to get out. Like, hey, this guy is hurt.
But like
He's
to
fucked
who?
up.
And like to get out to the point that there's dudes like not Twitter dudes, like guys with millions of dollars, right?
Yeah, it
On
has
some
to.
like
Yeah.
random Apex fight.
Yeah.
And then somehow
has
they
to.
find out that you're one of the people who in this massive pot of millions of dollars being bet on a fight, your 300 gets called out. Like I guess how do they find you? Was it a DraftKings thing or like one of those?
I'm not sure. I was using like a local book at the time. So all those things are trackable. I'm not sure if I'm not sure, man. Either way, they could see the amount I was wagering. So
do you think
but I do think for a line to move that big, it does have to be word has to get out to someone that could afford millions and millions of dollars on a sports bet, you know?
That's why I think the insinuation is it was an inside job, or that it was thrown and all that, because who else is betting that much money on such a random fight?
Yeah, no, I see the appearance of it for sure. Especially that it was a coach and this, but it couldn't be farther from the truth, man. It like, especially knowing the situation of, you know, like where Minner's at now.
Do you know where he is? What is he doing?
I think he's coaching at his gym, and I think he's looking to fight regionally again.
Okay. Because his suspension is up a little bit before yours.
Yeah, his is up now. He can fight whenever, I think.
Yeah. And are you still a member of the UFC?
I've asked for my release, and they're going to honor it. So
okay. Why?
I had a conversation with Hunter, and I have no bad blood with the UFC, man. That they changed my life. I'm actually forever grateful that, you know, I got to fight amongst the best. I was ranked at a time, but with the conversation, I understand that they pretty much said, "Hey, we can't go forward with you under the circumstances after the hearing, and we wish you the best in your future."
Okay.
And that if I asked for my release, they'd grant it. So I went ahead and done that. You know, there was a lot to take in, a lot to think about during that. I've been drug tested like every other month for the last 2.5 years. You know, I still get my supplements. I've gone to the PI in the past throughout all this. So I thought that, because I think the UFC was founded kind of on that principle of like, hey, if you screw up, you get your punishment. And, you know, people have come back from running over pregnant ladies while high on coke and and done terrible stuff. They do their punishment, they come back. And so I thought my 2.5 years was enough, and I'd be able to come back to the UFC. But I get it. I think they're in talks with the new broadcasting deal. I don't know if they don't want the attention and whatnot, but I'm in the prime of my career right now, man. I'm 27 years old. I'm ready to fight again. I'm ready to get back in there.
In other words, do you think if you were a superstar champion right now that you'd be welcome back?
100%. I would have fought a year ago.
Does that piss you off?
I've had a lot of time to think about stuff, Ariel.
Yeah.
Like I said, I went through a dark time around this time last year. Like depressing thoughts, terrible thoughts, dark thoughts. Just, I'm in a much better headspace now. I'm much, much happier. That saying, that cliche, like things happen for a reason, was tough to believe back then, right? With all this shitty stuff's happening. But, you know, a lot of things wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have met the person I'm with now, my partner, had I not got outed. I would have, if the suspension never happened, I would have never got outed, because I would still, a lot of stuff that like, I'm in a good place now. And, you know, crying over spilled milk isn't going to help me in the situation. And I'm able to compete again, man. I'm able to do what I love, and I'm ready to do that.
How did you get out of that? Because I was thinking of this. I remember the last time we spoke was in March of 23, when all of that happened to you, and you came out and addressed everything. And I thought in a very admirable and just a commendable way, an inspirational way. Like you didn't hide from anything. There was nothing to be ashamed of. But it's like a lot, right? That wasn't on your terms. And then all of this happens and you're in the prime of your career and you're sitting on the sidelines and you probably think there's a double standard, right? Other people get away with a lot worse, in your opinion. And so how did you get out of the dark thoughts and in this kind of state here? How did that happen?
Yeah, it wasn't easy, man. Like I said, there was a very dark time where I didn't know if I was gonna come out of it. Depressing, dark thoughts of, everything you can think of. Sean Strickland is somewhere right now, jerking off to the thought of someone else going through a struggle. Yeah, dude, it was tough. Yeah, it sucked. I think training helped me. Like, I realized I had like a direct correlation when I was like at my most depressed and when I wasn't training. If I'm fucking laying in bed all day, and then obviously I got outed. So I actually met my partner, the person I'm with now, through Twitter. That being in a healthy relationship and getting to be myself. Obviously, back then that the worry was someone treating me different, for the people I care about treating me different for something I can't control. Right, like that idea was fucking terrifying. Would make my stomach turn, but that didn't happen. And I know so many people that don't have the same experience, that do get treated different, that the people they care about and love treat them different. And that sucks, man. That's terrible. That's the thing. And I do appreciate you having me on back then, man. I didn't know what would come from that, but it was nothing but good thing, as far as getting hundreds, if not thousands of DMs saying like I'm a role model and it's cool to have some representation amongst the elite organizations of fighting, and just that I was breaking down stigmas and barriers, as far as like people think of a gay dude and they're like, oh, they have to dress a certain way, they have to talk a certain way, they have to paint their nails, they have to wear dresses. And it's the messages and support I got made what I was going through like all worth it. It was like, okay, like at the time, dude, I thought my life was ending. I was like, everything I love, my career's gone. My, fucking, something I suppressed and feelings that I felt for so long that I buried, had come out in the worst way possible. And it was terrible. But I think coming on your show, Ariel, and getting the messages I got, and hundreds of messages from other athletes and actors and like C-list celebrities telling me they're in the same spot where they're afraid to come out, and that me coming out helped them in some sort of way, from married men with kids to 16-year-olds in high school with similar feelings, and telling me that I've helped them in a certain way meant a lot.
Wow.
So I think that helped. And then obviously finding my partner, who actually I met through Twitter, he DM'd me after I came out, and fast forward now, we have a house together. We're happy, and yeah.
Wow.
He's a great guy, and I wouldn't want it any other way.
I'm really, really happy for you. I do have to give you props as well, because I see some people, you roll with the punches very well. They crack jokes on Twitter, and you give it right back, and you laugh it off. Like there's some stuff that I think some people would be maybe offended by or whatever, and you just let it roll off your back. So kudos to you.
I'm in. Thank you, brother. That's the way to do it. I think I'm getting more and more comfortable being who I am, right? Like, again, it's something I suppressed for so long. And I know so many people in the same boat would rather be quote unquote normal, right? Because life's easier that way. If you don't have to deal with the stereotype and the way certain people think, unfortunately, still in this society, it would be easier, right? Like, I want to have kids in the future. And I hope, and it sucks that I have to say this, but I hope my son isn't gay, for the fact that he wouldn't have to think about what other people might say. And I hope that society turns one day into something where it doesn't fucking matter. It's just, it's nothing. But, people try to justify it with religion and other stuff, except, we're all humans, man. We're all just trying to be happy, and it shouldn't matter who you lie in bed with,
Mm.
So that being said, I'm becoming more and more comfortable with who I am, and I still shoot the shit with my buddies. That was one worry I had, was like, I want to still crack the same gay jokes we're making. Like, I don't want anything to change. I'm still the same dude. And none of that changed for me. So, I try to keep a sense of humor with it.
Who's your team now? Like, who do you train with?
Yeah, I train at Ignite, former Glory location. When this all happened, that we had there was 3 Glory gyms, and they all kind of branched off and changed their names. So this is formerly known as Glory Northland. It's now known as Ignite, and Zach Cummings and Jason High are the coaches there.
Okay.
So Zach Cummings,
yep,
ultra UFC vet, Jason High, UFC vet, PFL vet, dream,
yep,
everything vet. They're our coaches, and they're awesome, man. They're amazing coaches. And
the KC Bandit.
KC Bandit.
Yes.
Look at you, Ariel.
Come on, man. I love Jason High. So and James Krause not involved at all?
No.
Okay. Do you think there'll ever be a day where he is coaching you, cornering you?
I don't think he wants it. With the way stuff unfolded.
Yeah.
I don't fucking blame him, dude. And that's why I say I really do think.
So why is he blackballed? Like, if he was just giving,
he caught the brunt of it, man. And I think, again, one, because of the way stuff looks, the Discord, him coming on your show and saying, "Oh yeah, I make good money." It looked terrible, dude. Did
the FBI get involved?
If you could paint the picture. No, dude. There was all this. I never realized, the whole fake news narrative.
Yeah.
How fucking true that is, dude. Like, until you're involved in it, journalists, like quote unquote journalists, were tweeting Jeff Molina's house got raided and his computer's taken and blah, blah. None of that stuff ever happened, man. Yeah, outrageous.
So no one from the FBI or from the feds, anything like that, called you, investigated him. There were people. I'll be honest. There were people calling me saying like he's going to jail, all this stuff. None of that happened.
No.
Wow.
No. Yeah.
So this wasn't as big as it was being sort of made out to be.
I mean, I got a 3-year suspension from it. I think that's pretty big. But yeah, I know what you mean, Ariel.
Like jail time. Like that's scary stuff.
No. I mean, it's not. It was against the code of conduct from the UFC for me to wager on fights, but it's not legal to wager on fights.
Sure.
And I'm sure there was an investigation done, but as far as I know, I never got a call from anybody, any party. If anything, I had to make the calls to try to get this resolved. So.
Do you think someone threw you under the bus?
Possible. Yeah.
Do you think so?
I don't know. Like I said, Ariel, I've had a lot of time to think. I've lost a lot of sleepless nights over this, man. It's good to have a conclusion. But no, I don't know. Probably. I mean, I've also tried to do exactly what you're doing. Where it's like, how do you get involved? And I'm like, I've ran every possible thing through my head, and yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah.
How did you make a living over the last couple of years?
Hasn't been easy.
Yeah.
Just little side jobs here and there. I was fortunate enough that I used the money I was making fighting smartly. James Krause was my mentor, father figure. So my first bonus I put immediately into real estate. Had multiple properties. So I was smart with my money, excuse me. And then doing little side jobs here and there, coaching. But yeah, that's how I survived these last couple of years.
Since you're not in the UFC anymore, has that release like been official? Has it been finalized for all intents and purposes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Will you continue to bet on fights?
Now that's open. Now I'm able to do that if I decide to do that. And funny enough, I kind of have a knack for it.
Okay.
So yeah, probably.
Were you betting on fights while suspended or while waiting your fate?
No.
Okay.
Because I thought I was still in the UFC.
Okay, got it.
But that's the only thing is I wish I would have, the drug test of this to that. Like, sure. I wish I would have known this. It would have helped me have some closure a while ago. But yeah, I'll probably, now that I'm allowed to. I remember when I was actively betting on fights and it was perfectly allowed, I would spend 8 to 10 hours a week watching film, breaking down fights. I I love the sport, dude. I'm obsessed. I've been obsessed since I was a 14-year-old kid. All I do is watch fights. So I remember I'd watch 10 hours of film on fights, not to like, I'd watch low level women's MMA fights, maybe for like Contender Series or something. And like, it makes you want to scratch your eyes out watching some of these fights for hours on end. And it's not the highest skill level. And it's just to try to find an edge and find who's going to win. And then at the end of it, you're like, I don't know who's going to win still. So, I would spend a lot of time and effort, and I'd make notes, and I was getting really good at it. And it was a good way to make money, man. Because like I said, this is all I know. Like I dropped out of college a semester before graduating to do this full time. And I've literally been obsessed with the sport since I was 14 years old. And that means watching tape every day, watching fights every day, just learning about the sport any way I could on and off the mats. So
you bet on other sports?
No.
No,
I don't know anything about the sports. This is the only thing I know, kind of in life.
Well, I was gonna say like, now I was gonna say I was like slightly offended. Now I'm even more offended. You say you don't know anything about other sports, and you come on my show wearing a Boston Celtics jersey, Jeff. What the hell, man? I hate the Celtics. Man. What is this all about?
I love the Celtics. I watch other sports. I just don't bet on it.
Okay, all right.
The Celtics are my team.
Why? Why are they your team?
I know you're a huge Knicks fan, yes. Ariel, and we all make mistakes, like I've said. So.
Well played. Well played.
But hey, good luck in these semis.
Yeah, that's gonna be a doozy. Can you do, because you can fight if you're suspended in the U.S. until November. You could fight overseas. You could probably do grappling and stuff. Are you going to do anything between now and then?
Yeah, so I've had a couple grappling competitions throughout the suspension. And actually, I could fight in the U.S. Just some states do follow the Nevada Athletic Commission. Some suspended under Nevada, some don't. Some do their own thing. So that being said, I am super excited to announce I'm signing with BKFC.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! I didn't know this.
Talk with Feldman this morning, and I'm stoked, man. Have you ever been to a BKFC event, Ariel?
I have not, but they're smashing. 10 out of
10 would recommend, man. It's the experience. Like I've been to dozens of UFC. Some of the biggest cards. I went to the Sphere show. I've been to a bunch of UFCs, and I've been to probably 4 or 5 BKFCs. Nothing compares to BKFC, and I'm not just saying that because I've recently signed. The entertainment factor is through the roof. There's nothing more exciting. Like they had a guy shooting T-shirts, like kind of like they do at a basketball game, and I thought that was so corny at first. And the next thing you know, I'm trying to reach for a shirt. The experience is super cool. The fights are as raw as they can get. I've always been, fancied as a striker. I love grappling. Like I was at jiu-jitsu practice this morning. That would be the only downside to me doing bare knuckle is I won't grapple while I'm in camp, but I think my style is perfect for this. I think I could be the face of bare knuckle at 25 and even 35. I think I was made for the sport. Sure, these fights can be pretty brutal and gruesome. Like I said, I've been to a handful of bare knuckles in LA, Denver, here in Kansas City, Omaha. But I commentate with Sean Wheelock. He's a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I used to train his daughter when I was like 16, 17. And he's been trying to get me to come over for a while. We commentate for a show called FAC. Obviously, he's the commentator for bare knuckle. And he's been trying to get me to come over. He thinks I could do really well over there. And then after some time, I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's do it. I really think I can be a 2-division champ. Like I said, I'm 27 years old. I'm in the prime of my career. I've been training throughout this time, and I'm ready to go.
So when's your debut? Do you know?
Not yet, man. Not yet. Like I said, I had the talk with Feldman this morning, and we came to terms, and I'm excited, man. I'm ready to get back in there.
Will you fight before November for them?
Not sure.
Okay.
Not sure. Like I said, I know they go to they have a Mohegan Sun card. I could for sure fight in Connecticut. I could probably fight in Texas. It's separate commission. I know, like out of respect, some commissions follow the Vegas commission, but these guys are going everywhere, man. Bare knuckle, I think, is the future of combat sports. They're blowing up. They were just in Dubai. They were in Florence last week. Yeah.
Are you done with MMA now? Or is this just like the bare knuckle chapter?
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, MMA, it was my first love. But I think I could do some serious work in bare knuckle. I really do. I think I can be a 2-division champ there. So I've never been in a boring fight. I think, again, my style suits bare knuckle. And yeah, who knows? I might, this could just be a side quest where I get a belt or two and then jump back into MMA. But right now, my full focus is on bare knuckle.
What's their betting policy? Do you know? Are you allowed to bet on?
I'm not sure. I don't even know if there's you can bet on bare knuckle.
I don't know either. I don't know either. But just make sure, okay? Just do me a favor and make sure before you do anything.
Yeah, I learned my lesson.
If you can, just ask them first if it's allowed. We don't want all this craziness to happen again. This meshigas.
Fool me once.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Was there anything that we didn't cover that you wanted to get out there in this first chat about all of this?
No, brother. It feels good to finally be able to speak about all this. Again, I didn't know if I was going to compete again in the UFC or what it was. So, I try to keep my mouth shut. I did respond to one person on Twitter, but it was just because it bothered me the way he was.
I saw that.
Insinuating
Jason actually, he writes a lot into our show. He's a friend of a show, I would say. And I think he said that you deserve to be banned for life. And I saw your subsequent, which even in here's the tweet. Like, you didn't call him a name. You didn't get too defend. Like, I even thought your response was, it was very level-headed. So I can imagine a lot has been said about you and to you. Kudos on handling. I mean, he's saying you should be banned for life, and you're just coming back at him pretty even keel, I thought.
Yeah. I think saying I should be banned for life for making a wager that is far from life-changing, it was kind of crazy to say. It's like, hey, isn't a 3-year suspension enough? Like, saying I should never be able to do the sport that I love and have sacrificed everything for, I thought was a little out there, especially knowing the mistakes that other people have made and have come back and have had success. Again, I just think the way this all played out, the way it looked, the stuff that happened like a month prior, as far as being on your show and talking about bets and all this stuff, I think it made it look fucking terrible. And I think that's why stuff unfolded the way it unfolded.
Yeah. Well, I am sorry that this all happened. The last couple of years sound like they were very, very trying, and I'm sorry that you were in that tough spot, as you said, with the dark thoughts. But it seems like you're in a great place now. You seem very happy. You seem very content, very excited about the future, and that's the only thing you could focus on. We had someone on our show. Who was it? I don't even remember at this point. It was Lex Luger, the great Lex Luger, who said you could either be a front shield guy or a back. What is the word that I'm looking for? Like, you can either look when you're driving this way forward, or you could look back. You know what I'm saying? Rear view mirror guy or a forward guy. And it sounds like you get what I'm saying, right? You want to be a forward looking guy. So kudos to you on that. Good luck, and I appreciate very much you coming on and talking to us first, breaking the silence, and hopefully now you can move on from all of this.
My man. Thank you, Ariel. Once again, appreciate you having me on. You had me on again, one of the darkest times where people were not only attacking my character because I was this gambling mastermind, but on top of that, stuff came out on the internet about my sexuality and whatnot. So you had me on during probably the toughest time of my life. And I appreciate that I appreciate you for that, Ariel. You're genuine mensch. And once again, thank you.
Thanks, my man. All the best to you. And congrats on signing with BKFC as well.
My man.
There he is. Jeff Molina coming on to talk about a crazy story. And look, I'll be honest, it still does feel like there are some questions that need to be answered, and those perhaps would be best directed towards Derek Minner, James Krause. They would be the key figures, but there hasn't been any type of incident like this since that I recall. Have there been any crazy line movements? GC follows this stuff a lot closer.
Not the way that it happened with the Derek Minner fight.
Yeah. Your reaction?
Yeah, he seems to have accepted the punishment that he was handed down, and now he's moving forward with it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious about what James does, and it sounds like Derek is going to fight as well. Sometimes I know about breaking news on the show. I did not know about the BKFC.
That's big.
Yeah,
that's fun.
I didn't expect it either.
He's not too far off with the saying BKFC events are the most fun to go to.
Did you get a T-shirt?
I purchased one.
Oh no, like from the gun.
No. I bought a Knucklemania one though when we were.
Oh,
there.
that's right.
You also can bet on BKFC, so
can or cannot.
You can.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. Tread lightly, Jeff.
I believe Jeff Molina.
Yeah.
I think he was a relatively small player in this. Certainly, he had his hands in kind of the running of it with James Krause and things like that. I think he was a small player in terms of this specific bet. The shocking revelation to me is that there was no federal investigation or anything that he was involved with. Now, maybe there was one that took place. Maybe this involves James Krause and others, but he is being treated as if he was a principal player in this. It almost supports his idea that I was not, some front man for this whole thing. The fact that there was no contact with him on the federal side and the fact that this was kind of just sitting there until he took the proactive measure to do it makes me think it just kind of like came and went. Nobody really cared in the way that the initial reaction.
Right. I'd also love to know, how did the line swing? That's the part.
A big or multiple big
whales
bets.
were coming in.
No, I know, but how did they find out?
I think someone within the team told massive bettors and probably got a portion of the winnings.
And do we think Derek threw the fight?
No.
I don't think he threw the fight, but I think
just knew that he was.
I think everyone knew that he was going to lose going into it.
I don't think you have to throw the fight.
I think when your knee or whatever it was,
there's a big difference between being like, I'm going to give this a go and I'm going to fight my ass off on one leg and I'm just going to go and roll over.
To be totally honest, man, it was very similar. It was worse, but it was very similar to the TJ Dillashaw.
But he fought his ass off. He clearly never tried to give up. He was just done and compromised.
Yeah.
This was so quick that you could say like.
Well, Rick asked me, he was like, "Did you have any money on this one when the line moved?" And I was on Derek Minner money line like pre-fight, and then I had him at like, I don't know, plus 150 or whatever it was, and then it skyrocketed up to like plus 300. I was like, that's probably not good. And then the fight started, and it was just like, oh yeah,
Did you cash out when it moved?
Nah.
No.
But
you rode with your boy. Respect.
If you're,
I guess it's a fucking.
I don't know if that's
dead on arrival bet.
Yeah.
It was a complete donation.
The reality is anybody could walk into a UFC fight and just decide, I don't want to fight. Anybody could.
Sure.
You don't have to be compromised. You don't have to be.
But it's the two. It's right. It's the big swing.
As he said, the optic. Well, the big swing is because of the bets.
Sure.
And the big swing is because somehow somebody had knowledge that he was compromised. But anybody on any night could walk into any fight and do that. And so there has to be enforcement and regulation and things in place. And I would expect that this is a teaching moment for, hey, we should have investigated this. The fact that Jeff Molina was not in any way contacted by any federal agencies or anybody to do that is kind of startling to me. Like,
there's a few startling things. Also, like Nevada just ignoring him, and then
the guy leaves office, and the attorney general that he was dealing with leaves office, and he is just in the wind.
What about him getting released now? Like, why didn't he just get released from the beginning?
Well, that part I don't know. It sounded to me the way he described it that he asked for the release. I don't know if they were intending to release him, right? He said he talked to Hunter and asked for it. So maybe neither side had kind of come to that conclusion yet. But it's kind of irrelevant because he was not going to fight until November anyway.
Gentlemen, we can talk more about this, but we have a hard out of 3:48, so we got to get going.
Oh, wow. All right.
We got... oh, jeez. I forgot about golly. He gets me every time.
Slito wants to know,
Go ahead.
GC, heartbroken over your departure from the UFC. Oh, yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
He's out?
Yeah, he's gone.
Golly, when did this happen?
Last 4. Last night.
Missed it.
Played the taps.
Dun, dun, dun. Well, commiserations.
Yeah.
And, we look forward to him.
We can
joining
fight our way
BKFC.
back.
Yeah.
Oh, BKFC wouldn't be bad. Sean Brady's boy in BKFC
no more jokes.
was Georgian.
That's right.
No more jokes. There will be another bald man with a beard that'll join the UFC in short order, and I'll just...
You still have that ref.
Yeah, we'll always have the ref.
What else?
Lewis C says, "Hi Ariel, are there any women wrestlers outside of the WWE and outside of the WWE's main roster that you'd like to interview?"
Oh, yes. There's Toni Storm. She's tremendous in AEW. Maria May is tremendous as well. There's a few in NXT. Cora Jade is great. The Rock's Daughter. Does that count as WWE? I guess it's NXT. TNA has some good ones as well. TNA just signed Indy Hartwell. Am I impressing you guys with my knowledge here? I mean, I could go deep. So yes, of course.
Yeah, for sure, man.
James Tuhuna?
Oh fuck! Shout out to the
Your
big man.
knowledge knows no bounds.
Yes, thank you. What else?
Mo M, favorite NYC neighborhoods and how to make friends in city.
How to make friends in New York City? I have no idea. I have no friends. Book clubs.
Shout out.
Gym, maybe. Sometimes people don't want to be friends at the gym. Try to get on like one of those New York urban professional leagues. Rick and I used to play. No, why?
The only way to make friends in New York is you head nod somebody, and then the next day you head nod them, and then eventually, after enough head nods, now you're friends.
They
That's
place you on a team. You hang out with.
Nah, that doesn't
Stand
work.
on the subway platform and says, "Who wants to be my friend?"
Yeah,
or
that's
that.
a good way. That's
you go to a bar.
Walk
I was going to say, you go out and drink, and you'll meet.
Just make sure you bring the pocketbook.
New York is a
gonna cost.
drinking city.
meet the locals, but you head nod enough times, you'll finally become that person's friend.
Best neighborhood though, West Village.
Love it.
Wow.
I'm more of an Upper East Side guy
Or a
myself.
Staten Island.
But yeah.
Oh.
What else?
Lastly, California driving. What's a song you love but are embarrassed about?
Oh, I did my. It's funny that this individual would ask. I did my vlog for my trip to Green Bay, and I mentioned in one of the videos that I actually referenced you, Frank, in because I wasn't wearing my lav, and I referenced.
It's yours now.
I referenced that I love listening to Avril Lavigne, and I got some stick for that.
Which one?
Why you gotta go and make a thing so complicated?
Bang.
I feel the way you're acting like it's somebody else must be frustrated. Well, life's like this too. When you go, when you show, when
We
you
just
don't.
got a DMCA too.
Love Avril, but I'm not embarrassed of listening to Avril. So,
And yet, when that question was asked, that's what came to mind.
well, because it was just a thing that came up. I love
You think you should be embarrassed?
No, proud Canadian, fantastic. I'm a fan of the Goo Goo Dolls recently.
Really?
Yeah.
Shout
Wow.
out. Big Metal Blade Records attendees.
Yep.
I'm a big ABBA guy.
ABBA's great.
Walk around New York looking all
Sandstorm.
pissed.
That's my embarrassing.
Wait, this one?
That's embarrassing.
Why
That's
embarrassed?
Vanderlei Silva's song. Sandstorm?
There's no need to be embarrassed.
That's
about
like
that,
an iconic
Let's take
MMA
you,
song.
Let's take you to a
I've seen
no,
Darude
Metallica
live.
Enter Sandman. I was thinking Virginia Tech does the
Oh,
Sandstorm
no,
before the
that's-
game. Dorian Strong, shout out 44.
Oh, my
sorry.
Yes, that's by the way. You reference that song in MMA circles. You're a legend. Like you know ball.
Yeah, that's OG.
It's different around
Just
these
to let
parts.
you know, no.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much for the questions. We do have to go. We have a show coming up 5:00 on the DAZN Boxing YouTube channel. Seems like the song came in like mid-song, almost to save time. I do want to let you know, very excited about tomorrow's show. Why? Or perhaps I should say, what? The rattlesnake himself. You talk about your John 3:16, Austin 3:16 says, I just whooped your ass. Stone Cold Steve Austin on the program. Not just Stone Cold, the big man Eddie Hall on the program. Not just Eddie Hall, my old friend Quentin, Rampage Jackson, a banger of a Wednesday. Others as well going to join us. Oh yeah, the aforementioned Patrice Evra, former captain of Man United and France, the captain of the entire country, going to join us. About to make his PFL debut.
Patrice Evra, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Eddie Hall, and Rampage. That's a banger right there. Wow.
Talk about a what is it? What is that thing called when people say that?
The
doobie pass thing.
The
doobie pass.
You know, it's the
puff pass. What is it called?
It's named after the guy.
What are we
Venn.
talking about?
Full circle?
It's named after Venn.
No, not the Venn diagram.
John Venn.
The puff. You say
blunt rotation.
Blunt rotation. There it is.
Dream blunt rotation. Someone out there has that. Patrice Evra, Rampage Jackson, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I love how
Eddie
making
Hall.
a circular motion with your finger means blunt rotation.
It's a circle. It's a circle. What a day it was today on the program. Thank you to Jeff Molina. Thank you to Eddie Hearn. Thank you to the great Ryan Garcia as well. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of them. We're back in a little over an hour. Go check us out there. Until I say peace.